Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we've got another match of the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Random Settings League. We've got Season 8 here. This is a Swiss Round 3 match between RyuuKane and AlexanderHD. I'm Star on the Beyond Comms. Today is Burrito. How are you doing?
Like Star, I'm doing pretty well. Waking up a little bit, but pretty excited to see these. Both these runners are 3 points so far, so 3 out of 3 wins. So we're going to see a pretty intense race between two players who've been having a really good season so far.
Yeah, absolutely. This should be a pretty fun one for those who haven't seen RSL before. As the name implies, it's the Random Settings League. Words. So the settings are random. We don't know what the settings will be, but we're going to find out. We could be here for 5 minutes. We could be here for 6 hours. We'll have to see.
Yep, we will. We definitely will. We can see the starting loadouts, though, which looks like we're starting with consumables and a full wallet, which is convenient. But we're starting with Bow, Magic, as adult with a Spirit Medallion. This doesn't look like it'll do a lot for us, but hey, Bow's nice.
Yeah, Bow is nice. And Bow Magic, 1 medallion. They did this year in RSL. We do have the option to ban settings. So, they banned no Gerudo card shuffle. So Gerudo card shuffle is on. It is not open bridge. It will be plentiful item pool, and we won't have full soul sanity. Other than that, we have no idea.
Well, I'm hoping for cows. We had some cows the other day. I want to see some mooing going on.
Absolutely. One thing to note is, oftentimes runners do elect to take breaks in RSL. This is not one of those races. We might be... So, here's hoping that this is not a 6-hour disaster. But we'll find out. I probably just jinxed it, as we are starting in the windmill. Okay. And windmill is in its vanilla location. Okay. That doesn't necessarily say a whole lot, but... I now need to remember, how does one run an entrance tracker? Generic grotto is a generic grotto. The treasure chest minigame is dead. And light arrows are in Fire Temple today.
Okay.
Okay, so Cacti Graveyard is its vanilla entrance. Granny Potion Shop is Granny's Potion Shop. And we do have expensive merchants on. We don't need to buy that red ruby. Doesn't look like Indoor ER or Grotto ER, because Shield Grave is also vanilla with something I didn't quite catch. The shop sanity is on of some flavor. We definitely don't have Indoors ER.
We still have the opportunity for some dungeon ER. So if everyone wants entrance rando, you still have some chances.
Is it me, or did Alex's stream just quit?
It's not just you. Well, at least we have Ryu.
We have Ryu. I've been focusing on him at the moment anyway for entrance tracking, or the lack thereof, I guess, because it's only so much to keep track of. Not on Anju.
Alex is back. Let's go. And we didn't rob the cow. If this cow keeps its hoard.
Yes, it did. Alright, let me refresh my page and refresh the restream for a sec. I am both your restreamer and your commentator, so if stuff blows up, yell at me. There's a lot to keep track of with RSL.
Yeah. I was ready to cover for you, but you're already, you got eyes everywhere right now, so... You don't even
it helps I have 3 screens.
Oh. My plebeian 2 screens.
Alright, doesn't look like Alex found a whole lot of anything of interest. Not that Ryu has either. It looks like this has been a bit of a snore start-wise.
That's okay. Getting some info. That's the important part.
That's a hammer in the crate.
Okay, yeah, I saw that peak and I was like, I'm not sure what that was. Looked like hammer.
Okay, so that's going to be important, given that we know our light arrows are in Fire Temple. There's a really good chance we need the hammer for that. Okay, I am closing my entrance tracker because it's very clear we don't have dungeon ER, we don't have overworld ER, we don't have indoors ER. 3 posts today. Go Kate.
Well, so far the race isn't looking too mean for anyone just showing up now. However, Kola, you evoked Ryu getting hit by a piece of fire, so...
Yeah, hey Kola, this is so far no ER of any kind at all. And we've got hints.
Yeah, more hints and then pedestal information come out with Zora's River being foolish.
Yep. Junk.
Oh, good.
Lake, Way of the Hero. And Well in the Well. Okay, we've got Dungeon ER on.
Well.
Okay, so we do have at least one kind of ER on. Not much, apparently, but something. Oh, key rings! We've got the Spirit key ring on Dompe Race.
Okay.
Okay, 5 meds and...
Shadow and Spirit medallions, so vanilla.
5 meds and lax are our win cons. Alright, basically we just need 5 meds, including the Shadow med. And check confirming CAMC is off because that keyring was in a regular textured chest. Got our dungeon layout here. Jabu, Fire, Forest, Deku, Spirit. Spirit might be the most annoying one here at a quick glance. We're going in Fire Temple anyway, so that's not a big deal. Although Spirit is substantially less annoying given we just found the keyring for it, so...
Yeah, and it does sound like that keyring includes the boss key, so you need the keyrings to do anything in some of these dungeons.
Seems like it.
So Alex is heading back out to Hyrule Field, either making for a river play or Kokiri, and it looks like Ryu is now getting around to doing market himself.
Okay, yeah. I believe we have at least shops 1 or shops random, because I know I saw a heart piece in one of the shops. I'm not sure what the exact setting is today.
No, yeah, it's pretty random. Saw blue tunic and potion shop.
Yeah. Okay, marking that as shops random. We have minimal ER at least, so that cuts down potential seed length. First look at Skull Shuffle. That's a vanilla token. And really, even though we have Shop Sanity, the Heart Piece is about the only thing remotely interesting we've seen so far. As it turns out, we've got Ocarina Shuffle.
All right, well, find that Ocarina. It's going to be a bit more of a headache than we hoped for.
Yeah, and we were able to move during the Skull Token text box, so that looks like no skulls, as we get a lens in Mido's house. And a bloopy. And some arrows. And a shield. Okay.
And then we're going to see if we get one more shop here. That's a lot of fish.
Yeah. Yeah, Shop Sanity on, but doesn't seem to lead to anything interesting at all. Alright, Ryu going Child, which is not a bad idea. Double damage is on. Good catch from chat, because a Void Out cost Ryu 2 hearts. Not too bad. It's also Open Door of Time. Yeah, good play from Kola. Probably should have checked if that was a viable fish bottle, but didn't think of that. Skull Mask is dead.
Ryu, as Child, probably gonna go check Weird Egg soon. We'll see whether or not that is shuffled.
Yep.
Another hint from Alex here. Soon.
Yep. And... oh, magic beans are on the archery HVA 1500. So, Bean Shuffle.
That could be an ominous one. We'll see. Oh, there's Mirror Shield.
Mirror Shield for $70. You'll take that.
What a deal.
We probably... Okay, we are probably being Spirit Temple today.
Yeah, why not?
We need to beat 5 meds anyway. We have the key ring, we've got the Mirror Shield. That's already a good start on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking at first the Spirit might be kind of annoying to beat, but no, apparently the Seed wants us to go there.
Yeah, with the items and the keyring especially, that makes it a lot more accessible.
Yeah, and Spirit's also part of Wax. Good point, as Weird Egg is vanilla. Alright, another couple hints more coming here. 30 skulls is a Goron tunic.
And then 40 is a red rupee, look like?
Yep.
Alex making their way into Goron City. Unfortunately, no Boulder Shuffle today, but that's okay.
And
wow.
Junk Hint.
Our Castle 2 giving a junk hit's pretty rude. Came all the way up here.
Yeah. Go all this way for nothing. At least it's Weird Egg vanilla, so you aren't coming out here for a complete waste of time, but yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Ryu has a little bit more time to burn, though, until we can hatch that egg.
Gives us a chance to look at what Alex is doing, so we... Because one of the things is, well, with any random, especially with RSL, with how much craziness can happen, it's going to be hard to keep track of everything at once.
Yeah, as we get a grasp for the settings, it'll get easier. Can dungeons be master quests this season? No, that is completely off.
Yeah.
To the dismay of Alex.
I'm a little surprised that Alex checked this skull mask, the theater grotto here, given we know that grotto ER is off, but okay, not a big deal.
You might want to just be super sure.
Because we've seen several graves in the graveyard, and we've seen the back of CAC, which are all vanilla, which pretty good indication, but even by that point, and guaranteed. Grotto ER is off. In fact, in general, this is a really tame seed so far.
Yeah, we were starting to get enough information to understand where, okay, so far it's not scary. I mean, we still have a few settings to find out. Like, we haven't been into a dungeon yet. I know some of the runners always lament
okay,
boss
OT
holes.
is dead times 2. Also, that was a good hint because Big Oron is dead. But we've got what looks like dungeon songs. Because Sun Song was on ZL, we had no starting songs, and I know the OOT song is dead. What-oh.
Oh yeah, that would be that could be the wrench we're looking for to make this seed a little bit longer.
Yeah. Because I saw Sun Song and then I saw that OOT is dead times 2, and it's like, uh-oh. Yep, that's definitely looking like dungeon songs. Last one's just Path to Twin Rova, got it.
And then Ryu just got hookshot from Market Bazaar.
How much was that?
It was like 10 rupees or something. It was really cheap.
Bans in this one, Cola. Banned no card shuffle. In other words, card shuffle is on. They banned Open Bridge, they banned Plentiful, and they banned Full Soul Sanity. Complete Mask Quest is on, for whatever that's worth.
Were you grabbing the skull mask?
We do not have a bans command. I am also aware that our hint commands are out of date. I am updating that right now.
It looks like a Graveyard Crate is actually a key ring.
Okay, apparently I just can't read then. Or not can't read, can't peek. Yes,
they have the same texture effect. They're shiny metal. Just got a second peek with Alex there to verify.
Yep. I wonder if a new complete mask shot from the Solo Skull Mask camp possible. Yukola, I've kind of forgotten about all the dual always send conditionals. That would make sense.
That's definitely some tight niche hint knowledge. But a lot of that comes up a lot more often in RSL than other settings I've noticed. Alex has talked a bit about it on restreams.
Hmm?
Alright, so now we're going to see Ryu doing Child Kokiri, which we haven't seen the Kokiri sword chest yet, so this will also answer whether or not that's shuffled. As Alex gets his Spirit Keyring.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have seen several. Well, we know it's not minimal anyway because they. Yeah, well, it looks like it's definitely not minimal item pool. It's not plentiful either. So
No.
it's. But it could still be scarce since we haven't seen a heart container yet. But we don't know. Okay, point from. Okay, thank you, Cola. It happens with frogs as well. If you get dual frog scent, the frog songs are off. Good to know. We haven't seen any frog scent of any kind so far. Fire arrows, okay.
Alright, well, we did start with bow and magic, so we can actually put those fire arrows to work, but knowing Kokiri's sword is shuffled, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem unless Deku's close, which I think it might have been.
Hmm. Oh, and treasure chest game is actually bomb choose 10 pieces, so that's good to know.
It's Mito and Mito's house. They've only gone into Mito's house as adults so far. It looks like Mito's actually standing
Ryu
over
was
there.
just there, so I'm not sure.
Oh. I think I saw Mito's fairy, so I think he's in front of Deku. Yeah.
Alright. Let's see. Took me a second to remember where the lens was on the tracker. So. Actually, oh no, Ryu hadn't been to Deku at Mana's house. Thought he had, but just different route. Whoops.
Yeah, so we do have closed Deku, so we need to get in there. We gotta find Kokiri, wherever that may be.
Yep. And that is going to be a random dungeon because we do have Dungeon ER on. Confirmed by way of hints because we know the well is in the well.
You know, we always joke about that being a very useless hint, but it did tell us Dungeon ER was a thing, so we got information from it.
Yep. And that can be good knowledge in terms of knowing where dungeons are or aren't. Especially in Dungeon Song Sanity can make things interesting to find stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so far extremely tame seed. Dungeon Song Sanity and Dungeon ER are about the two most potentially challenging settings on the seed. Otherwise, fairly normal. Colossus Foolish, good to know. That doesn't really tell us much in Dungeon Songs.
Oh, it looks like Water Temple is Dodongo's cavern entrance.
Okay, that's good to know. Water in DC.
We flooded the mountain. Yes, affordable scrubs today, looks like. Well, I think Alex is going to peek this chest. Ooh, wants to get the Skulltula first. Good move. Gonna get through the boulder here.
Yep. And letter! That's a good find. Not open fountain, but it doesn't matter too much in this case. And Ryu, we know, is going to find some variety of junk on here, I forget what. Actually, it was, no, this was not Choose, this was Bloopy. Treasure chest game is Choose, Cola.
We're gonna get another peek here at a shop on Alex's side. Gonna go in the Goron shop soon after getting 20 rupees for a Goron link.
Yep. And that's gonna be practically all shops checked. We're gonna just be missing the Zora shop at that point.
Mm-hmm. Goron shop does have a key ring in it.
Ooh, keyring, Forest keyring for $240. Ouch!
We need to find a wallet for that one. Alex might buy the
2
shield,
wallets.
though. It's only 55. Oh, yeah.
I would consider it. I'd also check if that's a random chew pack. Yeah, that's a 20 pack of chews for $180. Ouch.
Ow. And then Ryu's about to see Saria here.
Yeah,
He gives him a $5.
Yeah.
Twin brothers in Lost Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting hint, because what we've found so far there is Ruto's letter, but Spirit Temple cannot be in either entrance in Fountain. Because both Fountain dungeon entrances are age exclusive, and Spirit has to be accessible as both ages typically, although we could have required only, which would change that.
Yeah. And then Alex filling up his wallet.
True, it could
possibly
be Bossy R.
Yeah.
Because if it's Bossy R is on, it's referring to the dungeon in which the boss is placed, not the vanilla dungeon that has the boss. In which case, Twin River would be in whatever dungeon is in the potentially in the ice cavern entrance. What is on the crater, by the way? I think that's a recovery heart.
Yeah, I believe that was a recovery heart, and then we have a huge rupee here in the other freestanding spot.
That might be something to remember for later to go buy your forest keyring.
Yeah, so far everything we found in shops that we've wanted has been pretty affordable, except that keyring.
Oh, there's been nothing to buy in the shops except that keyring.
We got a hookshot for $5.
Okay, we got hookshot and mirror shield. Never mind. True, I'm scared of raining.
Yeah,
hookshot and mirror shield are affordable, but this was not. In the slightest, and we would like a forest keyring because we know forest is a medallion. It's the fire med, but what medallion a dungeon is doesn't matter. Grand scheme of things. We've already got a bow, we've already got a hookshot. We are not that far from potentially clearing Forest Temple, aside from possible boss ER.
Yeah. We've not found a strength yet, and that's a little scary. In my opinion.
I mean, we haven't found a lot so far. Like, I legitimately would not be surprised if this is scarce.
Yeah. Also missing explosives.
Yeah, and yes, boss keys are on keyrings too, so keyrings are going to be very powerful this seed. And okay, Stone of Agony, we don't care.
Maybe one RSL we will care, but not this one.
No. I think we've also determined by now that, I mean, they've checked pots by this point, right? That's off.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they both were hitting pots at the beginning of Dampe.
Yeah.
How will you know where the grottos are? Yeah, chat, our runners are definitely going to get skill checked on those grottos.
And 50 skulls is dead, so we don't need more than 20. 30 skulls Goron Tunic might be logically relevant. We really don't care otherwise.
Yeah.
Kokiri, I'm updating our settings tracker. Kokiri Sword is shuffled. We don't know about frogs. Two drips. Nobody's been.
Ryu's heading into Lake
Hylia. Yeah.
And it's going to grab a hint here.
Fire Temple holds Deku nuts. Useful.
And then Alex is in Child for the first time. He's going to be doing Night Market.
Yep.
And I'm going to be finding a Mirror Shield here.
Yeah, Ryu not quite getting the recoil strat to get this skull, but not a big deal. Just going to go back around and grab it. And, oh yeah, we can go see if treasure chest game keys are shuffled or not, because that's an option.
That's true.
After Alex buys his, Alex still needs to buy his Mirror Shield first, as that's a skill 3 for Ryu. And apparently his earlier stream issues were on Twitch's end, and that might be more. I have absolutely no idea what's on the letter spot.
And unfortunately, we don't have starting Ocarina, so we can't set Scarecrow Skull while we're here.
Yep.
Potentially not a huge issue, we'll see. But we are going to get sea chub fishing.
Well, okay, no treasure chest game key shuffle because Alex is doing it.
And looks like something's in the last chest.
I did not quite catch it.
There's the bomb shoe bag.
Oh, bomb chew bag. Okay, that's nice.
So finally some explosives. That's really big for Alex.
Okay, so it is bomb chews in logic, it looks like then. Funny, there is... Yep. Because we did get hit that treasure chest minigame was 10 chews. Turns out it's actually, well, the logical chew, so that first chew is the chew bag. Alright, we'll refresh the... Okay, let's refresh your comms page, because Alex's stream issues work things a smidge. And I hit the refresh button for the restream as well, so... Sorry about that, chat.
I'm just giving out spoilers. Okay, it looks like Owl is shuffled. Lake Hylia Owl will take runners to Haunted Wasteland.
Okay.
That's a punch on Pop-Pop's point. That might have some logical implications.
That is funny. Yeah, especially with Dungeon ER, that could be our child access to Colossus. And the
Shadow
there.
Temple keyring.
Shadow keyring in the lake scrubs, that's useful. Potentially, although Shadow is a stone and Strength 1 is very much nice to find. We probably want that.
This owl's hoarding everything.
And some arrows. Okay. Well, I think we might... Well, okay, Lake Haya's Way of the Hero. Yeah, I think I know why.
There you go.
Oh, and actually that's the, that's the... Okay, that is the Colossus End of Wasteland. Wasn't sure which end that would be, but that's the end we probably wanted to see more as Child.
Yeah, gives you logical access to Spirit Temple's entrance. We don't know what's in Spirit Temple, but we'll find out soon, it looks like.
Yep, we don't care about any of the checks here because this place is hinted to be foolish, so we don't have to worry about the arch with the beans on HBA or the scrubs that can really suck.
No, but Ryu definitely wants that hint. Information's very strong in RSL, and all the hints are good.
Yeah. Okay, forest in the shadow entrance. Okay, we might be a while before we can get that, since we need to find Nocturne on the dungeon somewhere. And DC, which Ryu can't. Well, Ryu can do some stuff in here. Alex can do more stuff in here with his chew bag when he gets over there.
Yeah, just the question of how long will it take Alex to get to Lake Hylia. Probably not long with that Way of the Hero path, but gotta at least walk the whole field.
Yep.
Yeah, Ryu's gonna do as much as he can here while he's here.
Yeah, gonna be a little awkward with just a strength upgrade, but in his child, but we'll manage. There are a lot of checks here with scrub sanity on, so. King Odongo rocking Requiem would be hilarious, although we still logically need a slingshot to beat this place, remember? Or even to get to the back. Also, bomb chews are not themselves logical for beating King Odongo, I don't think, given the bomb chew strat's a little stupid.
No, well, Alex is checking the Bunny Hood, so Bunny Hood believers. Yep, we have fast Bunny Hood.
Hey!
Save some time with that movement.
And our DC side scrub is junk. Well, refund, I suppose, but not progression.
It's routed in wallet management. We promise.
Would be more effective if we had a wallet, admittedly, given that we would like the Goron Shop Forest keyring.
Mm-hmm. Strength plus 2 is possible, though, as long as Slingshot is somewhere.
Well, I'm not talking. I mean, you can get to the back, Cola. I just don't think beating King Dodongo with Choose is in logic as to.
Yeah, I
Given
just
that
think the point is you
I
could
don't
beat.
think I don't think the strat's possible as Child, and B, it's more than a little silly.
Yeah, I think Cole's point here is that you can beat King Dodongo just with strength, anyways.
Well, that's actually maybe true. Never mind. I'm scatterbrained that point as Nuts here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I forgot we have the strength. Yeah, that's called I'm a scatterbrain, Cola. Please ignore me.
I will never forget King Dodongo's arena because it's the best arena. It's a square.
Yeah.
So, and he needs snacks. That's what the bomb flowers are there for. That's a snack stash.
Ryu skipped the hint in DC, right?
Maybe.
Because I don't remember seeing it, but also Brain's a little sleepy-headed this morning, so.
Oh, also a lot of info coming in at once.
It is a lot of info. I'm at least not needing to run an entrance tracker because we have so minimal ER that I don't need it.
Oh yeah. And Alex is checking the Market Grotto.
Beyond Spirit Keyring in the graveyard.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah, I'm just doing a scatter rate on King Dodongo logic because of course strength works on him. Whoops. Anyhow. And he wants to scrub and save up, that's what I thought, Cola, thank you.
I'm gonna see Tech Titan Grotto here. Can't get it, but it's good information to have while running across the field anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. And...
Shoes.
Is that arrows?
They look like bomb chews.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, another chew bag on Tech Titan. Yeah, well, we're going to be leaving those behind. I don't think they care a whole lot about it.
No. Would be nice, but can't reach it anyway, so whatever.
Exactly.
Ryu might. If Ryu doesn't do treasure chest minigame, which he probably will before going back to adult, but do you look at that and go, oh, how do I get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, as Cole's
Yeah,
points, once you
Rat
do find a bomb chew bag, everything else just kind of looks like chews to you.
Yeah.
And we're going to see Alex starting to take the Gerudo Valley to Lake Hylia route here, as we saw Ryu do it earlier, as Ryu works through the top of DC.
Yep.
No one's picking up stone for the fans. Unbelievable. These runners trying to save time. Getting a peek at little spike maze here.
Can't really peek when there's no CAMC.
Yeah. Well, peek as in we're getting a look at it.
True.
Not to peek the rewards. But yeah, we do not have chest matching contents or textures at all, so everything's a surprise until you get there.
Yep. But yeah, Child DC is slow for Ryu. On the other hand, it's currently our only access here. And he decides to just quit out of here. I don't blame him, honestly.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a slingshot. There are jumps to... yeah, and you need a slingshot for Child. Adult can bypass it with rather precise jumps, but yeah, that's about all he can do in there.
Yeah, not too much left to do, so Ryu's going to back out on otherwise. Alex is going to see that this goes on a wasteland, keep that in mind, but wants to check the grotto before leaving.
Yep. Playing a little dangerous with the owl there. I thought he was going to grab the tail there because it was still right on top of the grave. Because that's happened to everyone who's played the Scrub Sanity, is they've grabbed the owls a little instead of the grave.
Nah, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, backshot adult for Ryu, since there's pretty much nothing else he can do on Child. I'm thinking about where our next logical progression is.
Yeah, it looks like he's skipping treasure chest minigame since he has Day And he doesn't want to
Yep.
play Sun Song, it looks like. So yeah, it's
He
just gonna go
can't
straight
play
back to
Sun
the Zelda.
Song?
That's right. Sorry, we can't. Every RSL I've looked at so far, they've started with Ocarina, and I'm like, wow. Forgot we don't have one.
Yeah, no, we can't. We don't have an ocarina to grab it with.
Just whistle it.
Alex making the play to back Lake hints. Very sensible play here in RSL. As mentioned earlier, hints are very powerful. And these are hints that your opponent might not get. Especially Ryu is a very, very strong runner, so it makes sense to try and get an edge up here. And Lake, okay, yes, thank you.
Alex, I know what Alex is running. Like, you don't say.
Especially given he just checked the lake scrubs.
Yep. But he'll be clearing out lake to be sure that's what those are. We can't see Lakeside Lab dive, so there could be something else on there, but
could be at a lake too, given that we don't have any way to get there without beans or a scarecrow.
Yeah.
DC way of the hero. Interesting. We didn't see anything in there.
No, we didn't.
And perfect Adult Archery gets us another heart piece. Yeah, marking us a scarce item pool. This feels very much like scarce.
Yeah, we're getting hungry for checks here.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot of items. We've seen no heart containers. This feels like scarce.
Yeah, as Cole's bringing up in chat, that Way of the Hero hint for Dodongos does put Ryu in a strange place, since Ryu couldn't easily get any further in there and couldn't finish the dungeon, and it seems like whatever the hero item is beyond where Ryu got to. So the question now is when does Ryu go back there?
Yeah, it's most likely accessible for Alex, and he's going to take that owl once he's done here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Alex wants to know what side that wasteland goes to, and then of course we'll want to see what's in DC.
Yep. It very well could be the song on the boss, yeah, Cola, since it's Dungeon Song Sanity, and we are missing all the songs except Sun Song, so very good chance we need one of those.
Yep.
But it could also be there are still 2 scrubs, couple chests left. We also might not be able to beat the boss if it's the boss ER, but even just knowing if it's boss ER would be huge info at this point in time.
Yeah.
On the other side, Ryu's... What is that? What is
that claim check? It's square. Oh, it's a Deku Shield.
It's a Deku Shield, yeah. I was going to say that's way too dark for a claim check. I feel like, though, we still don't have a slingshot to continue in Child DC, though, is a bit of an issue, although Alex can do true strats to go get to the back. But he's going to go check Southfield, which also makes sense, actually, with his choose. I hope he backtracks for the L. I mean, it's a choice either way. He doesn't know which end of Wasteland Owl Goat takes him to. I'm hoping he goes back there, but we'll have to see.
I mean, it's very strong information to have taking that owl. So I think he will go back. I just think he just doesn't know when to route these grottos back in. Ooh,
okay, never mind. Okay, that's actually a really think he did that first.
Alex intuited that one. He's like, that might lead me to DC. Better go look for Slingshot.
He doesn't know that yet, but to us, we know that's a really big fight.
Yeah. Rainbow Bridge is Ice Cavern.
Oh yeah, wow. Gaddon's Castle is in the Dungeon ER Shuffle, got it. So actually, we could find Gaddon's Castle just somewhere, and we only need to beat Spirit Tumble and find Fire Tumble to beat the game, potentially, although we also don't have any Trials hints. And we're a winner!
Yep. Alright, we're going to see Remote Grotto here in South Hyrule Field. This will be the last grotto for Alex to check.
Yep.
We're
hoping he goes back for that owl after Claim Check is still dead. And that's joke.
Alright, let's see where Alex heads. Where are you going? No, go back!
Aw, Alex.
Oh no.
I think he's getting
Oh, choose. That's right.
And
Nope, never mind.
he's leaving. That's okay. Well, it's
What a tease.
yeah, that's a. I think he's
Um,
heading in the direction of it's either going to be Kokiri or River, and I don't think
it's
he hasn't been
Kokiri. He has
Child
not
Lost
done.
Woods. He hasn't been Child Lost Woods yet, and he knows Lost Woods is path to Twinrova, so this makes sense.
Yeah, and he just got slingshot, so that gives him another check, and he hasn't been to Kokiri as a child yet.
No, so it makes sense for him, but yeah, we might be old before we find that.
Ryu's checking Bolero, which
I
is a
mean,
stick.
I was on his side. I was going to say that actually the Fire Temple entrance is one of the places that might be a logical progression at this point, since we're on solo. Or we're getting solo on checks. What's on the grotto? Which grotto do you mean, Rob?
Yeah.
And
Ox is gonna
GTG
find
in
fire
Fire
arrows.
Temple. Oh, that is a fantastic find here. GTG in the fire entrance.
Especially if our runners can find the key ring, because there's this hover boots on the front doorstep. GTG has tons of checks when we have key ring on, because it frees up all those key boxes. So this is a very exciting place to find. So Ryu's going to do as much as he can while he's here.
The problem is the key ring is probably not here. We've seen 3 key rings so far, and they were all on the overworld, which makes me think we might have overworld keys.
And Ryu is going to get item locked sooner than later, but that bow and hookshot, specifically the bow, lets him get away with a lot of stuff in here anyways.
Yeah. We're also going to be able to check if Silver Rupee Shuffle is on.
Oh, very important, yeah. This will be our first peek at Silver Rupees. That can be a setting that takes a lot of time.
Oh, yeah. If Silver Rupees are on, it would be Silver Rupee pouches, because we haven't seen any yet, but these look vanilla, so no Silver Rupee Shuffle today.
Another kindness.
Okay. Settings tracker updated again.
So Ryu making it through GTG. We'll get a few more checks in here. Does not have explosives still, so...
No explosives, no Song of Time, so
no.
Can't do much on right side.
And since we don't have chest size or textures, we will not be seeing him peek the middle maze if he doesn't find any keys.
No, and I don't think he will. Keyring, we haven't seen, and we can't confirm it yet, but we've seen 3 out of the 3 out of 9 key rings, and all 3 were overworld.
I also agree with Cola. Singular Silver Rupees might be up there with the worst settings. I agree.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Agree with you on that.
Ooh, that's a bottle for Alex.
That could be a useful find here.
Yeah, we did. We didn't check those bottles in the shops earlier.
Yeah, that is our first logical, usable bottle, since we actually can't turn in Ruda's letter right now.
Right.
So there is a low chance that's actually... It'd be funny if that's path.
That would be a cruel joke, but a joke nonetheless.
Because we can't turn in that Ruda's letter. Since we don't have ZL and we don't have a scale, that's the fish bottle is our first logical bottle. Which, yes, that sounds really silly, but Rando does some interesting stuff.
By the way, I just want to point out Ryu made it through GTG. I think he started with like 3/4 of a heart and did not let the Stalfos punk on him, and is almost fully healed going through the whole thing. Double damage in GTG can be scary because of enemies like those Stalfos. So
yeah. Lost Wood Scrub Grotto was a scam, and nothing here in this room for Ryu.
Ryu's peeking that freestanding.
which I have no idea what that is.
It was brown.
Yeah, that much
Okay.
I figured. I can't tell what brown item it was.
But I think that's everything Ryu can do in here for now, so
It
he's
is.
gonna
No
lead back
keys,
out
no
to Crater.
strengths. No keys, strengths, or explosives, that's it. Hover boots don't do anything right now.
They look cool.
Yeah, that. Dins,
Oh, there's Dins.
which
Wow,
is equally terrible right now.
Well, Alex has the most lit item set, having 2 fire sources, so there's that.
Alex in general is doing really well, honestly. That early 2-bag is giving him a huge amount of items that Ryu's not getting right now.
Yeah, other runners have said before, explosives are the most powerful item in this game by far when it comes to most randomizer settings, and this is no exception.
Absolutely, because Alex has gotten a lot of items that Ryu's so far been able to get. He's gotten a lot of information, and he's just generally been able to route things much more efficiently, while Ryu's going to have to backtrack for all of these grottos everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Ryu just used hover boots to get over the river for backwalking faster. See, there's some cool use. Some hover boot strats. Let's go.
Huh. Alright, Child Spawn
Child's
in
even-
Marco. Which is okay.
It's like a discount prelude.
Pretty much, actually not terrible. And whenever Ryu eventually goes back Child, because he is going to run out of checks at some point eventually here, feels like, he will have fairly easy access to... Okay, there's a long shot.
Yeah, long shot on Bomb Chew Bowling. Well, that's not going to be our blockage today.
No, it's also... Although that... If we find the Water Temple keyring somewhere, and the Water Temple boss is one of the beatable bosses, of which we have several right now on this current item set, that might be our first song off a dungeon. Because
Also, wild that both
because we don't
hook
need
shots.
Iron Boots to beat the Water Temple boss if it's boss key shuffle.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You can just long shot on over from the top, because you don't. Basically, you need Iron Boots or Gold Scale to go to the basement, and in Key Sanity of any or Keezy of any variant, you can go to the top floor. You can do Dark Link, River if you have Song of Time, and a bow, and you can go to the boss.
Yeah. But Child Market's pretty low to this seed. We found both hook shots here, and we found Bomb Shoe Bag. So
I would not be surprised to see a Market Path or Way of the Hero later.
Was Dog Shuffle on? No. Sorry. Our dogs were very unshuffled today.
We
But
are
they're
going to
also
get the
good.
Gerudo card check for Ryu. Then we're going to check the Thieves' Hideout, which we'll see if it's... Actually, no, we saw earlier it's 4 Carpenters. All 4 Carpenters were there, so it's all... Okay, yeah. All 4 Carpenters were already rescued, so you can just cross the Gerudo Valley Bridge today. It's, pre-completed... whatever. The Thieves' Hideout is already open. Fortress, so we don't... So that, gets us over here. As I proceed to get tongue-tied.
Okay, we're watching Ryu find 5 rupees at the top of Hideout. They were hiding those rupees for later.
Yeah. So we'll get the GTG entrance, which could be pretty useful here. Or actually, no, we can't do GTG entrance because we don't have the... Well,
Yeah, no card.
but it lets us check that, and that's about all. And we have the token, and that's about all we can do here without the card, because, yeah, it's card shuffled.
Card Shuffle's a real pain, especially when we have dungeon entrances randomized. That could be quite the problem.
Yeah, Dungeon ER, Dungeon Songs, no Ocarina in sight is currently not mattering much because we have no songs to play with a Ocarina.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm feeling like DC, the way of the hero in there, whatever it is our progression. We have full logical access to everything up to the boss, and we can beat most of the bosses at this point. We can't beat Volvagia, and we can't beat Volv. We can't beat Baronade, but we can beat most of the other bosses.
Yeah, having that bow, long shot, and or just even a hook shot's great.
Also, this would be child DC, so we would be getting likely, what, Goma, King Dodongo, Phantom Ganon's even doable on this item set, although stupid.
Yeah,
Could
but
do
just because
Bongo
it's
on this
stupid does
set.
not stop RSL before.
Oh, no. Yeah. But there's a very good chance that Child is going to be able to beat whatever boss is in DC.
Alex grabbing some
Decent
more
chance
money.
of it being Vanilla King Dodongo. It could be, and most of the other child bosses that could be a child accessible anyway are beatable. It would just be the big problem is it would be if it was a Baronade in there, basically.
Yeah, Baronade would be problematic because then we really need that boomerang. But Jabu is hoarding our light medallion.
Yeah. And again, we might not need it. We know now that it is full dungeon ER, including the Ganon's Castle entrance, so... We basically need to find and beat Spirit Temple, find and clear Fire Temple for the light arrows, and then go see what trials look like. Alright, back to Child for RyuuKane. I think he's pretty much run out of adult checks, I'll be honest, so that he'll find his shoe bag here in pretty short order, as Alex is going to clear GTG. I want to know what BMO's chest has.
Yeah, that's we'll see BMO's chest, but that's about it.
For new checks,
in terms of difference, yeah. It's not really much else Alex can do that Ryu didn't already do.
I was going to say, eek, Ryu safe quitting, but it's not going to take him much of anything. He's hoping it's going to be useful. We know he's going to go basically nowhere.
Yeah. He's like, ah, cool. Here again.
Yeah, unfortunately his time of day is wrong for treasure chest game right now.
Looks like he's making an effort to push 10 skulls there by going up to...
Makes sense. Without grounds. Explosives, he's running really low on checks.
Mm-hmm.
We know where his explosives are. He doesn't. That's kind of the thing right now, is Alex has explosives but doesn't know that DC hasn't been to Colossus, so doesn't know DC is there. Ryu's been to DC but doesn't have explosives, and he's not going to get explosives until he gets back to Night Market.
Yeah. Time of day management is a huge factor when it comes to these RSL runs, and this seed is no exception.
Yeah. I believe that the CMG hint said 10 shoes, Cola. That's why I was a little confused by the chew bag when it turned up.
Yeah. So Ryu headed out to Ranch, having not checked it earlier.
Nobody's been here.
No, there's not a lot of checks here. Especially
without
since
a
we know
Ocarina, no. Although the scrubs do boost it, so this could be something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can do chickens, we can do scrubs, we can check if cow sanity is on, and we can check the tower, so it's still a fair few checks.
Cow sanity with songs on dungeon rewards sounds like a good time.
Yeah, Ryu not walking into the stable, but he doesn't need to anyway. He's going to be off the tower in a minute, so...
Yeah, so going to check Scrub Gato here for Ryu, as Alex making good time through GTG. One of the little things that makes the seed also take a little bit... Oh, bomb the well keys.
Okay. Confirmed overworld key rings at this point.
Yeah. But as we were talking about, and there's Ganon's
Castle key ring.
Everyone left their keys at the horse ranch.
Yep.
That scrubs their pickpocketing all those keys. But not having chests have textures or size matching, that takes up a lot of time. You're having to physically go and check every single chest you see, and all that little time adds up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chet says true bag means drops necessarily in logic. Fair point, although it feels like given how much those chews have opened up for Alex, I'm fairly sure it's logical to choose.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look, but I think cows were off. So yeah. Yep, no cows.
Confirming, thank you. Which means we've pretty much established all major settings at this point. It's very much scarce item pool, dungeon songs, cheap scrubs, overworld key rings including boss keys, double damage, dungeon ER, owl warps are on, save warps are random, and I've got a couple of the minor sanities on.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see what's on this BMOS chest, though. This is the only chest that Alex can do that Ryu couldn't.
Yep.
Well, it looks like Ryu's heading back into Kakariko.
Yep. And 200 bucks.
Ryu didn't miss anything there.
Oh, and actually that's a point from Koa, is Ryu has seen the chess minigame hint. He knows it's 10 chews, because that was the back of Kak, which might be pushing him away from it since it didn't say it was a bomb chew bag.
That is a potential, yeah.
Because he might just think it's non-logical chews, and he's not going to try and rush time of day to go grab what's just a nice to have but technically not logical. Although we know at this point I'm fairly sure it's logical chews given how much has been locked behind the things.
Yeah.
Neither runner knows because Ryu hasn't gotten those chews and Alex hasn't been to Colossus, didn't take the Lake Owl, but we're running real on checks. And it's like DC is our answer.
Alex definitely gonna grab this keyring up here.
Oh yeah, I forgot that this was a keyring. And Water Temple, speaking of that, keyring! Yeah, okay, Alex is probably going to go beat Morpho or whatever, but he's there now.
Mm-hmm. And that would be our first boss we get to see, so we can see if bosses are shuffled.
Yeah.
In these settings, I forget, can we figure out if his boss souls are on before we go to a boss? You probably would have got a hint by now, right?
I'm not sure. I know that we don't have full soul sanity on, like it's not all souls, including regionals and bosses, because they banned it, but I don't know if... you would see boss souls in the menu. Okay, thank you.
There we go. So yeah, no boss.
We have not seen DMT... We have... Yeah, yes, it could be a required climb for DMT Owl. No, we haven't seen it. It's one of the other 1,000,001 things locked behind that chew bag.
Yeah.
And 10 Skulls is one of Ryu's gonna run out of checks very soon here for that 10 before he gets to that shoe bag, because just for the sheer fact that go ahead, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that 10 shoes only got him an arrow refill. So to your point, he's gonna run out of things to do. And I think what he will start doing is start using time of day to start checking things. Like, I don't know if anyone's done Dampe digging yet.
Nobody's done Dampe, no.
Yeah, he could remember about the treasure chest minigame and go do that anyways and just get non-logical chews, which end up being his logical chews anyways.
Yeah, there's a good point from Colas. He might have marked it as useless. And here's the thing, in RSL, even if you aren't sure if it's logical chews or not, don't mark chews as useless. Because...
Yeah, but to Colas' point, that hint could be more clear. And also, looks like bosses aren't randomized.
Yeah, Vanilla Morpha here, that is going to be our first song. Funny fact, by the way, that's logical access to adult lake things, as we find the ZL on Morpha.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now we're cooking. Yeah.
Kinda though,
So
but we
definitely
might
dungeon
need
reward
that.
songs. Yep. And given how available both long shots were, that's likely very early on in Logic.
Oh, that is. Again, Chewbag has got to be logical at this point.
Yeah.
Chewbag has got to be logical, which got us our long shot off bowling. The other first tuck shot was $5 in the Market Bazaar, which is 0-0. And long shot gets us the crate key. So yeah, that's all we need for Morpha is 2 hook shots, access to Water Temple, which is also 0-0 since it's in DC, and then just the keyring to go to Morpha.
We are seeing Ryu do the bomb flower strat for the test of courage here with Hot Rodder.
Yep. Ryu really is desperate on checks at this point. Yeah, I really hope Ryu wrote it down as choose on chess game and not junk because not dead, because if he marked it as dead, yikes.
Yeah. He'll need to get bailed out by some other check if that's the case. Which again, running out of stuff to do for Ryu.
He is really like he can't even sequence break very much, to be honest, is the problem.
No.
Like everything that Alex has that Ryu doesn't essentially is behind that shoe bag.
Trying Mask of Truth here at the Deku stage, which I don't know if we saw a hint for. We did see one for Skull.
It's a sometimes hint in complete mask quest, so we might not have one. I like this scrub's magnificent mustache, by the way.
Yeah, I don't like that he gave us 5 rupees for that, though.
No, that one was a bust.
Yeah, so Skull Mass Theater not coming in clutch, unfortunately, as Alex is heading towards Gerudo Valley, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And over to
Alex himself starting to run a little low on checks. Because I'm wondering when Alex goes back to check the Lake Owl, which is his issue right now in this seed as happy 1 hour, everyone.
Yeah, happy 1 hour. Thanks for all being here on Zelda Speedruns. This is the Random Settings League Season 7. There's a round 3 of a Switch tournament format. RyuuKane and AlexanderHD, both sharing their perspectives with us, both having won 3 matches so far, so undefeated so far this season. So equally skilled players having very strong seasons so far. Want to thank our trackers today, Lady Draco and New IT Guy. Also want to thank Star for commentating with me. Thank you very much for being here. Great to see you again on Ocarina of Time after a very heated Zelda 2 season. And I want to also thank you for restreaming, pulling double duty, and taking notes, and doing settings tracking.
At least I don't have to run an entrance tracker because it's just Dungeon ER, and I don't need an entrance tracker to track dungeons. I don't use a full entrance tracker for just Dungeon ER because it's not that. There's only like 10 entrances. It's
yeah.
Running
not
a
bad.
full-blown entrance tracker for just a couple of them.
But yeah, so RyuuKane has won all of his matches so far, and so has Alex. RyuuKane has won against, let's see here, Flopine and Aosuna, so won both of those, so 2 matches. And Alexander's won against Pappy Grant and Tanjo. And so having won against all those runners are very strong, have been having pretty good RSL seasons. So definitely no easy buys for anybody on this one, except for the one player each round that does get a buy, because we have an odd number of participants.
Yep. Alright. Still daytime in market here for Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
Alex is safe quitting. Yeah. Okay, it is almost night, so Ryu's going to go do down pay and then save quit for, hopefully save quit for chest game.
Yeah, that's my hope as well.
He's got basically nothing left to do.
And again, he didn't have time of day when he came back here or when he left. He would have had to set it as adult before coming back here, which would have been a difficult ask, because then he would be locked in to that night cycle since Child Spawn is market, so he wouldn't be able to get out.
Yeah. He's also going to get a couple more skulls here. From his perspective, he might be thinking this is a really tight skull seed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that 20 skulls is accessible to him, but he might be thinking just barely.
Yeah, his process might be, I got hookshot early, I can get a lot of skulls as adult, so 20 might be in logic.
Yeah. We know that, we know where logic is, and it's not this. Alex not going over to Adult Lake. Admittedly, there's not a... Admittedly, the thing with Adult Lake is, right now, having beaten Morpha, that fills the lake up, which gets you access to adult fishing and to Shoot the Sun, but time of day on Shoot the Sun is kind of terrible, so I don't blame him for not going all the way over there for that.
Yeah, he'd ideally wait until defeating the dungeon in Lake, whatever it might be, so it sets him there and sets the time of day appropriately. But he looks like he's going back to Child, so he might go check the owl, because honestly, I don't know what else he has to do as Child at this point.
The two owls, he got some random loose ends like chickens and Dompe. The fish battle Manchi was one of the 1,000,001 items behind the chew bag.
Yeah, so that's not an option for Ryu, but it would be an option for Alex if he really wants to push chews. Or skulls, but...
I think Alex does have better things. Alex, it's going to be on Alex's to-do list, but I don't think Alex is going to rush it.
Yeah. Ryu getting the jump slash on the Skulltula there in the Watchtower in CAC.
Yeah. So to rehash what Ryu's missing and where it is that's all bomb locked is his slingshot, which is fairly required at this point for DC completion, it looks like, is on the Field Scrub. His long shot's on Bowling, which locks ZL on Morpha. His first logical bottle is on the Lost Woods Bomb Grotto. And Din's Fire is in the Wolfus Grotto as well, and some other random stuff besides. Okay,
he's doing it!
Alec. Oh, good for you! This is a hard last location, I think.
Yeah, but he'll be able to move ahead afterwards at least. And
he will.
Just coincidentally, both runners doing what we wanted them to do at the same time.
Yeah.
Alex going Lake to check that owl, and Ryu doing TCG.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Kola. Ryu is going.
Yeah, Ryu's not going to be happy, but RSL still probably has a curveball or two to throw at us. So there's time for him to make back. And again, Alex actually ended up putting off going to DC here. So Alex is only up basically beating Morpha. And
beating Morpha and clearing a lot of bomb lock checks, because there's a ton of... Like, Ryu's got random checks all over the place he needs to go check that are chew locked.
Yeah, but Ryu's a beast, so he'll fit those in the time. That's not too much time for him, I believe.
And there we are.
Yeah. Just the reality of RSL.
Yep. Chad can't see it, but we can see Ryu's face cam, and he's not.
Yeah. He was just like, oh. Aw. That's alright.
Alright, so now he gets stuck waiting time of day because we have to do that first.
Oh, he's gonna get his long shot here.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And Alex is heading... He's gonna check the Colossus in, which tells us that Forest is in the Shadow Temple entrance. And then go... and then go to DC, which we will finally see what's here, because I really want to know.
Yeah, which Alex is coincidentally heading in with a good amount of chews there with 12.
Yep. Oh, morning, Pikaling. Welcome in. We've got a very linear seed so far. The settings aren't terrible for the most part, but the handful of settings that are on have been giving our runners a bit of a runaround apparently today.
They're pretty restrictive. Again, songs on dungeon rewards can be pretty nasty, and so far it's proving that way. Granted, to your point earlier, we don't have an Ocarina to start with anyways, so not really doing much with those songs. Our starting items were okay, start with a bow's cool, and magic's cool, but not much you can do with that magic. We did find fire arrows early, but that honestly doesn't do too much for us right now. And then the dungeon entrance randomizer already putting in some good laughs here.
Dungeon ER and Owl ER, making Owl ER apparently being essential to beating DC as Ryu goes back adult. Ryu has no reason to go back to DC until he gets that slingshot, basically, so this makes sense for him.
Yeah, and that DC hint was at the back of Lake, which Ryu did not check those hints, so he does not have that information.
But yeah, so we're doing the everything right now. So here in DC, for context, the first Ryu hard last location his logical bomb chew bag on chess game about 3 minutes ago, which was hard required logical explosives. You cannot get much of anywhere in this seed without them. Ryu did everything else he could except for a very borderline 20 skulls, I think, was about the only other thing he could have done before getting that.
Yeah.
And then Alex opted to go to Field Bombable Grottos instead of checking the Lake Owl to go to Haunted Wasteland, which was both a good and a bad thing. The good thing is it got him his slingshot, which he needs to beat this place. The bad thing is this is a near last location for him as well.
But we will see what is on Way of the Hero here in Dodongo's Cavern by the end for Alex. And Ryu already ahead on Skulls is just going to be maintaining that lead, and it looks like he is not going to be skipping any tokens to push 20 as soon as possible. And then you mentioned it earlier in the scene, but that 30 Sculptula token Goron tunic might be our logical tunic for Fire Temple, which we know we're going to have to deal with today. So, and double damage, probably want the Goron tunic. Especially since items appear scarce.
It's definitely scarce. Alright, had a little trouble with the Chew strat for the second eye, but eventually got it for Alex.
And Ryu heading into Adult Goron City once again. Looks like he's heading over to the maze. He's going to put those explosives to work.
Yep.
Get some hint information, some items back here.
Deku Nuts.
Oh, Valley, which we've already seen, but thank you, hint. A nut and a stick.
Yep.
And he's going to use those hovers to skip over to the adult side chest behind the Megaton Hammer. And get the Kokiri sword out of logic.
That's useful.
Because I don't believe that hover boot strat is in logic.
No, it is not. Yowp! For Alex, taking a death to the Keys in the back of DC. No, Chews are not in logic. With Chews, the Chew trick is not in default logic, and we don't have that trick enabled, Manshi. You are logically supposed to have the slingshot, which we do have in logic from the field scrub behind the bomb chews, like half the other things in the seed. But that is our logical access to the back here.
That logic Kokiri sword grab might be pretty big for Ryu. It might help him make up some time depending what's locked in Deku.
Ryu checking a beehive. I don't think that was anything.
No.
And yeah, I'd shoot the keys down. Thinking of.
Gary. Double damage keep, fire keys, rude.
Yeah, okay, good. He got some heart drops. Very, very helpful. Ryu's going to check at the the Forest Temple dungeon entrance here as well. Pika Link, you can see the major settings enabled in this seed on the settings tracker in the middle of your screen. If you have any questions, please ask.
Alright, Ryu making it into Sacred Forest Meadow as adult. Going to check Minuet here.
Doesn't look like we have boss ER.
No.
And just some seeds.
So we've seen all the checks between Ryu and Alex. Alex skipped the left side of DC and some of the top.
We haven't seen all the checks.
No.
We're missing the section past the up top, past the slingshot lock.
Yeah, so it's possible that that's something But to Chat's earlier point, the way the hero might just be the dungeon reward. The only case would be if it's the song on the dungeon reward would be if it's like Serenade or Prelude.
Yeah.
So
I expect Alex will still go back in for the remaining checks because there are still such limited things, and no matter what song is here, he can't play it.
Right. Unless the Dongo drops his instrument.
Well, that's not possible because it's dungeon songs. I do feel like the ocarina should be showing up at some point here, but and our song is Saria's song, which is not necessarily the most useful, although we'll get some information here from Ryu, because Saria's song, once we find an ocarina, might be our first logical access to this dungeon entrance over here as in a little SFM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and good. Alex is going back in. I was going to say, if Alex doesn't go back in, I'm going to have words for him.
Yeah.
Ganon's and Forest Temple entrance would make a kind of sense, actually.
Yeah, you replace one castle for another.
But yeah, because we're still low on checks. We've got the couple checks in Adult Lake, we've got 20 skulls. The checks in Upper DC packed to the Slingshot Lock, and not a lot else. And Forest Temple entrance is Fire Temple.
Fire Temple,
that makes sense, actually. That does make sense. We needed to find this somewhere. We know light arrows are in here. We know we haven't found the keyring, and we don't have the hammer for here, but light arrows could be right here.
Now, unfortunately, Ryu only has one shoe in here. So we'll need to go get some explosives before doing much more in here.
He can't do anything more without more keys, and it doesn't matter because there's lights.
Pots have... Alright, logical choose.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter anyway, because he's not going anywhere with or without shoes if he doesn't have a hammer or keys. He might never come back, because that's his lights, so... So Saria's maybe especially if Minuet's on Volvagia, Saria's might be Way of the Hero to get our Saria's might be Way of the Hero to get that. Lights.
Oh, for logical access to Sacred Forest Meadow?
Yep.
True, we have not seen a scale yet, or iron boots. Which would get us still in front of Mido. We can pick him up and throw him. I wish.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Cola is Minuet Unfold.
Hmm.
It could also be for our Lost Woods Way of the Hero, or Lost Woods Path, because we know that because there is Skull Kid over there. It could be for Darunia, but we don't really know at this point. Logically, it can't be Songless because we need either Saria's or Minuet to get those lights, but we'll have to see. Oh, Fire Temple keyring! Funny game! Funny!
Oh, it's alright. Ryu knows where it is. Go back anytime. Probably won't worry about it too much until he finds Hammer at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried. It's just funny that he finds it right after leaving Fire Temples.
Yeah. He's already pulled his lights from it, so he might even avoid doing the majority of the temple.
Oh yeah. No, that's not going to be a priority, it's just rude.
Keyrings do include boss keys today.
Yep. That's why Water Temple is our first logical beatable dungeon, I was gonna say. And Slingshot locked, that's funny, game. Funny. Slingshot on the DC field scrubs.
And there's our first ocarina.
Okay! DC is extremely Way of the Hero.
Yeah. Yeah, that ocarina is pretty massive. Is going to give Alex a advantage here, especially since we already have Sun Song, so his time of day management is going to get a lot easier now.
Oh yeah. What is DC Way of the Hero for? Both.
Yes.
Yeah. Not the slingshot, but everything. But yeah, that ocarina is huge for him.
All right, so Ryu's going to take out Morpha here.
Alex is going to skip the last couple checks in here, which I'm a little surprised by. They're a little slow, but he's here and he's not going to be coming back for a while, since we don't have Garuda card or Requiem for Adult access.
Yeah, this aggressive play might be a side effect of Alex effectively last locationing into Dongo's cavern and then doing it. He could be thinking that Ryu's already done this and is already far ahead.
Mm-hmm. Ryu not bothering to step into the Morpha Blue Warp, which is because he knows OT is dead and this is a stone, which that's fine. That's just a time save for Ryu. Yeah, Alex might be trying to save time against Ryu, who's a really strong player. He doesn't know that Ryu Heart Last Location his shoe bag and is actually kind of behind, ultimately, honestly, at this point because of that. Like, the light arrows are nice, but they don't open anything, and Alex will be going back there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
This Wasteland check is not a check, by the way, but you might as well check it while you're here.
You got magic and fire, why not? But yeah, Ryu's effectively a lot of bomb checks and half a DC behind Alex.
Yeah. I'm thinking about what we're missing for Go mode. We don't know about Trials, but we need to find Spirit. We need to find Ganon's. We also need Strength 2 for Spirit, and that's quite possibly it between the two. We have, for dungeon entrances, we haven't seen the Deku entrance. We do have that accessible from Ryu with a Kikiri sword, although it's currently out of logic. Jabu and Ice entrances are both now available since we have ZL to turn in that letter. And Rudo's letter is currently the only item that is in Path Lost to Twin River Lost Woods, because we have the ability to turn the letter in now.
Could Twin River just be inside Ice Cavern? Could that just be where Spirit is?
Possible, but it seems unlikely that we've got boss ER since we've had 2 vanilla bosses. That was 50 skulls dead in Upper River.
Well, I mean, like, the entrances are randomized, so, like, when an Ice Cavern entrance, just lead to Spirit. But I guess Child can't reach it, technically?
It could be required only.
Oh, good point.
It's also possible that either the Jabu or Ice entrances... Okay, Death Mountain Crater has 1 major item. That's interesting. I don't know if we've seen a major in there yet.
I don't think so either. Could be the Scrub Grotto, Fairy Fountain, or
Scrub Grotto or Fountain, or worse, Scrub.
Yeah, or worse, Scrub. That's it.
But yeah, it could be that Jabu or Ice Cavern entrances lead to a dungeon with something required in it, basically. River Grotto tells us Graveyard is path to Twin River. Yes, thank you. Oh, okay, we need Irons or Gold Scale for Ganon's access.
Yep. They're from the hint on Ryu's side there.
And Burning Cat is dead. Good to know.
Okay, freestanding looks like it's just 5 rupees. And Ryu's going to check the entrance to Ice Cavern here. Which is Spirit Temple.
Okay. Okay,
all right,
required
cool.
only confirmed. And Ryu, you don't have strength too. I'm not sure what the point of that was.
It's alright, he'll get some shoes here.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure why he was trying to push the block with 1 strength upgrade.
Willpower.
River's foolish, Manchi. That's why Alex didn't check the chest. Okay, what is... Graveyard Path to Twinrova...
Looks like Alex is going to do Domain, which is a wallet in Zora Shop, which is
For
155.
$155. That's rude!
So we have a Wallet Walk wallet, which our forest keys are locked by 2 wallets.
Yep. That's also just really rude, Gabe.
Yeah.
Okay. We might not need the forest keyring, to be fair, but yeah, that's rude.
Yeah, but looks like Alex is going to do Zora's Domain, and then move up to check Fountain.
Yep.
Here's that DMC hint.
Yep.
And Ryu's heading out to Hyrule Field. And maybe going to do Adult Lake?
Maybe. Hey, VXR! Seed here is interesting. We've got Dungeon ER, Owl Warp Shuffle, which turned out to be essential to solving this mess. Dungeon ER, Owl Warp Shuffle, it's overruled key rings, including boss keys. Scrubs, scarce, double damage. It's full Dungeon ER, including Ganon's Castle, so we essentially need to beat Spirit Temple to get to the Ganon's Castle boss key. We're never getting to Ice Cavern and the Ganon's Castle entrance at this point, because that's 5 minutes. And Treasure Chest minigame was our first logical, also our only available explosives. Reinhardt last location added about an hour 5. Neru's Love here is not useful. But at this point, Restream is Iron Boots or Gold Scale and Strength 2 from no mode, I think.
Seems like it.
Because we've seen a hit that Ganon's Castle is in the water entrance. Potential no mode since we don't know Trials, correction. Since we know Ganon's Castle is in the Water Temple entrance by way of a hint, that's, speaking of scales, there's a vanilla one. And we need Strength 2 to beat Spirit Temple, because that's the Shadow Med for Ganon's boss key.
Ryu just pulled his slingshot, so next time he goes back to DC, he'll be able to do the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. I am surprised Alex didn't check the... I'm really surprised Alex didn't go to the Jabu entrance.
He might be going back, he just probably wants to get Scarecrow's song while he's near the Lake Hylia entrance.
That makes sense. Light arrows are in Fire Temple. Fire Temple is in the Forest Temple entrance. Alex is behind on skulls, the fire keyrings on 20 skulls. It doesn't matter right now, at least, because light arrows are right next to Volvagia on the one and only check that was available to Ryu. And yeah, Ryu finding has a slingshot for DC logic now. DC, extremely hard required. It's Way of the Hero for our first Ocarina, because it's Ocarina Shuffle, and for Saria's Song, it looks like for logical access to adult SFM for our lights. Yeah, Alex hasn't been bothering much with skulls because he's had things to do since he had explosives at least half an hour before Ryu did. Ryu hard last location them, and so Ryu pushed skulls a lot harder, thinking that 10 or 20 skulls was going to be his progression.
Yeah, Alex had a lot more to do for a longer period of time, so that's basically why he hasn't been as aggressive with skulls as Ryu has been, which so far. That might play to Ryu's strength. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we know 30 skulls is a Goron tunic we don't need.
Yeah.
And
And
the
then,
fire keyring might not matter, but... And 10 skulls was garbage.
Ganon just wanted some lakefront property. That's all. And he got it under the lake on accident.
But yeah, Alex in a very good position right now. Has a good amount of knowledge and checks done. Because one thing that has been bogging Ryu down is he went everywhere, but unfortunately wasn't able to be very efficient while hard last locationing treasure chest game. And so he's having to backtrack all over the place for all of these bomb lock checks that Alex is able to do on the way to his other things.
Yeah, but Ryu is going back to Child now, and he has a few things to do. He can go finish Dodongo's, and he also has access to Deku, which Alex does not.
No, Deku. Speaking of Deku, Deku entrance that is, because Deku the dungeon is right here in Java.
Mm-hmm. Java does need to be child accessible, doable dungeon, and Deku's definitely one of those.
Well, if it's ALR, yes, and recorded only, it could have been anything.
Hmm.
Because it is confirmed to required only, since it, unless the DMT owl dumps us on the ice cavern entrance, which is good if it's that. I forget if that's possible in these settings. I don't think, but yeah, no. It's looking like recorded only since spirits in the ice cavern entrance, which is not accessible as child normally.
Alright, but Deku's all new information for us over here on Alex's side. Haven't seen any of this yet, so we're gonna get a piece of that. And it does look like Ryu is making a play for the Deku Tree entrance. It's true, we don't know where warp songs go today.
Nope, haven't seen them at all. Because it is Dungeon Song Sanity, one of the rare settings on the seed. And we haven't gotten a single warp song yet. Decent chance there is one here on Deku because it's a 6 and 9 chance of it being a warp song. For those wondering if you're curious where it is, it's in the Goron City Maze. It's one of the things Ryu did in the process of last locationing his choose. Alex hasn't been there yet because he's had other things to do. And Shed Temple in Deku, so we're not. So that's something to do as adult. We do have the Shadow Keyring, and Bongo is beatable actually with our item set.
Yeah.
Ocarina's on the DC side, scrubs by the bomb bag chest VXR. Alex didn't go around for the DC bomb bag chest and the DC bridge chest, which are both locked behind those slingshot rooms that are oh so fun. That could come back to bite. I expect Ryu will just clear everything out when he goes back there. But Alex saw the Ocarina and decided, had to already be in the boss for Saria Song and decided, alright, I'm leaving, which I can kind of get. But it could come back to bite him here.
Yeah, we'll see when Ryu gets back to DC, because since he's already cleared a good number of the checks, I agree that he's just probably going to clear up the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ryu getting around to do Lost Woods again, remembering that that's path.
Yep. Deku is a snore so far.
That's okay, we're not in here for very long.
No. And Alex is catching up on skulls here. That's 13.
And Ryu checking Hot Rodder.
Yep. Tried to do the strength strat on this earlier, didn't quite manage it, and is back now with his choose to pick up some arrows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alex performing the basement one skip without bombs. Both runners can definitely do that.
Oh, yes.
These are very skilled runners.
Both very, very, very good strat to know, especially in RSL.
Yep. And Goma's Goma. As we know, since bosses don't seem to be randomized, so Alex is setting up for Power Crouch Stab's going to head in and just delete Goma. Squish the bug. Ryu using those explosives to actually make the Death Mountain Trail climb, so I think we'll see the owl here soon, and we'll have our answer where that second owl goes. You know cows aren't randomized, so we're skipping that cow grotto.
Yep. I'm looking through our my notes for dungeon entrances right now, and the only 2 dungeons we haven't seen / don't know the location of is we get Requiem. That's a good find.
Cool.
Only 2 dungeon entrances we haven't seen / know the location of by way of hints are Jabu and Forest. One has to be in the GTG entrance. The other, actually no, wait. We know Forest is in Shadow. Jabu has to be in the GTG entrance.
Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, Ryu got double damaged going up Death Mountain Trailer, so he's going to start heading back up as we check the Colossus Warp, and see it looks like it does warp to Desert Colossus, so it doesn't seem like Warp Song locations are randomized.
That is a vanilla warp, yeah. Most likely.
Yeah. For those that don't know, if it is randomized, the text box would tell you. It would say it goes to this place instead. And it'll be highlighted.
Like our owl, the friendly lake owl, taking up the wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this kind of sucks here for you.
Yeah, as Cole's pointing out in chat, you want to backwalk here even if you have Bunnyhood, because the rocks try and predict your movement. So even if you're walking fast ahead, the rocks are going to come after you. But Ryu playing it safe, only having 1 heart, this scarce item's double damage. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
And yeah, if you confirm it, guys saying in chat, confirming, yeah, Jabu and GTG confirms it's required only. And that is good for Alex in that he can get back to DC a lot easier for the remaining 2 checks. He can do it as adult too. That's our first logical adult access. Shadow Trial is on. Okay, that's fine. We have the items for that. Shadow Trial's on. That means we need Long Shot. We need a Fire Source. We need. That's fine. And sure, we need a hammer. No, I forgot we need hammer to beat Shadow Trial. So add hammer to our go mode list. It does mean that it is less than it is going to be between 1 and 3 trials on in total, because otherwise it would say that a trial is off instead.
Mm-hmm.
GTG hoards a blue rupee. Great!
Yeah, Alex still chasing that Lost Woods to Twin Rova, just in case. But it does seem like it's bottles. But just clearing the location, doing Ocarina minigame. Ryu looked at the owl. I didn't see what it said, but Ryu probably going to get worse scrub here.
Yeah. Still haven't found the major item in Crater, so that could be on the scrub.
If it's on the scrub, that's well, I guess that's
apparently
good.
The owl said DMC, which is interesting. Gerudo Car, that might be in use. Well, actually, no, actually, that owl is not. That is not useful. We have Adult Colossus access by way of Requiem. We already checked Wasteland to be junk, and we are. Okay, I guess Boomerang Chest is about the one. The Boomerang Chest and the Jabu Scrub are accessible, but we're not doing the rest of Jabu. And I was going to say, actually, okay, so the owl does have some use. It takes us to here, which is useful, because that lands us in Child GTG. Colossus Arch is junk, new IT guy, I have no idea what it is, and I really don't care.
I care, even if it is junk.
Alright. Well, yeah, this could be our first logical access to right side GTG, because we haven't seen the GTG keyring, and we don't have Song of Time.
Yeah, thinking about Dead Beans is a good idea, since we just got owl access to Creator Platform. So that basically, that's a less convenient Bolero. A very less convenient Bolero. For Child.
Yeah. But Rio's just going to clear right side GTG. He's already done most of adult GTG, so this is going to be just a one-off quick check and call it done. Alex taking advantage of his ocarina to clear out Child Goron City. Yeah, and Garuda card. Oh yeah, true. Garuda card blocks the beams. That's actually a fair point. Because HBA has our beams today, and we don't have a POTUS song anyway.
Yeah.
And right side GTG is snooze. All right.
Good idea by Ryu to check it while he's here, though, using the
absolutely.
Song of Time block while it's there.
Goron pot shoe strats can be a pain.
Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan, but doing it with strength is also lame, so. That looks good.
Times the charm.
Anything in the pot?
And all that for some arrows.
Scarce items is rough.
It is. For those who are unfamiliar, that means there are no heart containers in the pool. That's why there's a little health right now. There's only one magic. There's only 2 slingshots, 2 bows, 2 slingshots, 2 bows, 2 bomb bags. I think it's 3 chew packs instead of 5. Couple of other things.
Yeah, that also helps explain why we haven't found our actual bomb bag yet.
Nope. Because there's only 2 of them in this seed.
It looks like Ryu is done with child and going back to adult.
Hey, Corbinik. Ryu's still leaving. That's a little bit of an issue for Ryu.
Yeah, but he's locked in market and he doesn't want to burn time of day just waiting around. I think that's his main thing.
Yeah. Second ocarina. The ocarina icon by default on this tracker. There's no second. It doesn't track the individual ocarinas. That just marks that Alex has an ocarina. We've only seen one ocarina. It's in DC, and that is hard child locked because you can't get to adult DC without an ocarina that's seen.
Yeah, just some unfortunate routing, and bad luck on Ryu's part.
Yeah, because Garuda card is on Ocarina Memory Game, and Requiem is Requiem is you can't play Requiem without an Ocarina, duh. And Requiem's also on Goma, which is in the Jabu entrance. Ryu has light arrows, Corbinik, but they're hinted to be in Fire Temple. Fire's in the first entrance. It's the very first check in Fire. It's next to Volvagia. Light arrows are unmissable for Alex. He'll get there eventually. I'm not worried.
Yeah, the only thing, again, Ryu really has up over Alex is that Kokiri sword, which gave him back entrance, which leads to Shadow.
Yep. Ganon's is in Water Temple Carp. We got a hint for that on... only Alex has that hint, because that was in River Grotto and Foolish River. Also, hints are NyQuil with a rating win. Welcome in. Oh, orphaning hookshots always hurt. Ouch. But yeah, for us, as a restream, we know that Shadow Trial is on, so we'll need a hammer. We need the hammer, we need strength too, and we need to be able to get in the door of Water Temple. Beating the seed, as far as we know. Alpha Mario X, at this point, Ryu is getting bit by the lack of ocarina, yes. He was previously getting hard bit by no explosives for an hour. I don't quite remember when exactly Alex got his chew bag, but it was at least a half hour earlier, I want to say. Yeah.
At least.
And
there's the second ocarina.
Funny
there you
game. Go. Funny. Speaking of the second ocarina.
Yeah, that
is hard
for an ocarina. You have to get that. So there's no other ocarina option, unfortunately, for Ryu. He's not going to get bailed out there.
Nope. We kind of knew that by this point anyway.
Yeah, so we've seen a slingshot lock,
slingshot. Scarce is enabled, Zulian, by... you can't confirm it technically, but you can get a very good idea. Like, we're an hour and 42 minutes in. We have seen no heart containers. We started with our only bow. We started with our only magic. We found exactly one chew bag, no bomb bags. We have, funnily enough, found both slingshots, actually. And just generally, it's been feeling a little dry in terms of items.
I think a good hint here is our runners start with 4 hearts, and they only have 5 and 6 respectively after almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
No heart containers so far, very few pieces of heart.
Like an hour and 43 minutes in, you'd think we'd have seen a heart container by this point.
Yeah,
upgrade of
since...
time is purely cosmetic, Sorky. Yeah, biggest giveaway is not having not found a single heart container, and the relative, scarcity of items is also a hint to that.
Mm. All right, so Ryu actually opting to go to...
Because, yeah, there are 8 heart containers in the game, we would have found by now. Guaranteed. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, Ryu's opting to go do Adult Shadow Temple to get some checks in. Now, this will lead to a stone, so he doesn't need it, but he's hoping to pull something important from here, I think. There are a lot of checks in here, especially since we already have the key ring for here. So that opens up a lot of chests.
And there is a song at the end of this, too, which could be required.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it should lead to a song, it will lead to a IT guy.
Will lead to a song.
Dungeon songs. It's just a matter of which song, because it could be a lot of different... Now, the Ryu, good point, can't beat Shadow Temple because he can't move the boat.
Yeah, but as chat's pointing out, he can at least set up shortcut, worst case scenario.
Yeah. Alex not going back into DC. Again, it's not the biggest deal for right now. He knows he left 2 checks behind, and with Recluse, he can now get back there whenever he wants. Alex, I guess, is using this as a fast way back to the GTG entrance, since he has his Gerudo card.
Yeah, I don't think Alex was able to check Carpet Salesman either, and we do know expensive item shops are shuffled, so he might peek that on the way there. He can't afford it yet,
yeah,
though.
I forgot it, yeah. Whoops, forgot about that one.
How could you forget about Grandma offering us 20 rupees for 100? That's such a deal.
We saw that like 3 minutes in. It's been an hour. Yeah, it's been an hour.
I never forget Grandma. Yeah, were you not finding anything so far in Shadow Temple? But still lots of Shadow left to check out while we're here. Mm-hmm. Oh, Alex wants that skull? No, oh, he's setting up. Cool.
No, he's just lighting the flags up to make it a bit easier to go backward.
Yeah. Yeah, Grandma hasn't kept up with inflation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's gonna go check Carpet Salesman. Easy over with the hover boots, too.
Heart piece for $200. No thanks.
Alright, we're not gonna be worried about coming back here then.
Nope. And Chad, speaking of heart pieces and whatnot earlier, in case anyone's wondering, yes, we've seen the winner heart piece. That was pretty early. I think it was on a scrap somewhere.
This play also might be, I'm not sure if Alex has worked out that GTG entrance would be Jabu, as he's not seen every entrance, so he's likely using that card to check out what that is. I don't think he's too concerned about getting beans. We don't even have horse yet.
No, that's not.
Horse
we know
bankruptcy.
Colossus is dead, we've got Adult Lake access. Really care.
How many checks are in Shadow with the keyring? A lot.
About 12 or so, I think, because we have 6 extra checks in there, and there's like 6 or 7 defaults.
Yeah.
Hey, got the only green rupee.
And it looks like Ryu's not too concerned about picking up Goron Tunic on the 30, skipping some easy Skulltula tokens.
Yeah, wouldn't be either. And there's Jabu and GTG as expected. Alex leaves and then remembers, wait a second.
There's the scrub at the bottom, which you can get by falling down as adult. There's also, the boomerang chest, and that's about it for now.
That is it, because that's it, period, because it's adult only. It's adult only Jabu,
right.
We don't have dungeon skulls, and it's not crates, so yeah, it's just those couple checks.
Chat, that's a good question. Have we won yet, chat? What's winning here? Ooh, Rudo not on basement. That's quality of life. Flag up. That's winning. Chat, we won.
For what that's worth, yeah.
Hey, that saves us like a minute of our lives. That's great. Love it.
Oh,
Silver
Strength 2
gauntlets
is a
and shadow.
fantastic find for Ryu.
That is big.
We need that.
He knows where Spirit is in the Ice Cavern entrance, and we have to go do Spirit today. We need that Shadow Medallion.
Yep.
Yeah, so
this is definitely not a hell seed, Spirit Fox. As RSL seeds go, this is pretty tame. It's not an uber jet, but it's not spectacularly horrible, at least for so far. And this shouldn't be too terrible. And that is a very required hammer.
Wow. All right.
Lost Woods extremely wave the hero today.
Yeah, we do need that Gerudo card from Ocarina minigame in Lost Woods.
Yep.
Does scarce items have
gauntlets? Yes, because you do. They only remove extra items that are logically equivalent to where the extra copy is functionally identical to the first one. So bows, magics, slingshots, bomb bags, chew bags.
So Ryu pulling that Kokiri sword from the Megaton Hammer chest in Goron City looked like to be a big play there, having found Silver Gauntlets earlier than Alex. But Alex just playing Megaton Hammer has put that check in logic for Alex now. So I think whatever lead Ryu gained from that, not as strong. Alex will get it whenever he makes it back to Goron City. The question is when. Does not have Bolero, and that's kind of out of the way for him, especially since he's already checked most of the things in there.
Yeah, and there was a dude talking about things. Stuff happened.
Yeah. The longest seed so far this season was that 8-hour match, which was 8 hours and 24 minutes in Kratos versus Cybro. Hilariously, Kratos was also... Oh, Kratios?
Kratios, he's French. You can go check out his VOD channel for the VOD. But yeah, Kratios and Cybru, both are Francophone. I think that where Cybru's from.
Which hilariously... Cybru was also in the second longest match at 6 hours and 14 minutes, which held the record as longest until that one. And Kratios was in the shortest match, which was 1 hour and 27 minutes. So both those runners getting around to all of the outliers this season.
Yeah. And yeah, we're going off on sidetracks a smidge. Ryu's almost done with what he can do here in Shadow. Unfortunately, his ocarina is kind of far at this point. I'm not convinced he needs an ocarina. He has one.
Yeah, it looks like Alex actually... I was saying, I don't know when he's going to go around in Goron City, but Alex is like, I haven't done Goron City Maze yet. I'm going to go do that right now. So I was going to find his Kokiri sword here, which will put Shadow in for him.
He's probably also thinking about Goron. He's thinking about Deathman Crater as well. And because he knows that there's one major item there, and he hasn't... There's one major item there, he hasn't found it, and he knows he can get it, because it's got to be the fairy or the scrubs, and he's got a hammer for both. So.
Yeah, also shouts the rare Nehru's Love strategy here for the lava pool scrubs.
This is in logic, and I think that's actually our logical way in here right now. Well, actually, no, we have a tunic for alternative access. It's this or get the tunic off 30 skulls. Because we don't have a wallet and we don't have Song of Time. And we also know that this place is junk anyway, so it's a moot point. Just a whole lot of money.
Were you setting up the shortcut in Shadow for later, being unable to progress without that ocarina?
Yep. Yeah, I think Alex is routing these checks. He hasn't done Goron City, really, so he's clearing that. And then he's going to go grab the major item out of Crater, whatever that is, because we know there is something there, and... Actually, he's just going to rush that, it looks like. It's a good play here, especially because it's scarce. There's not a lot of major items to be found. So there's a very high chance this is required. Really good chance this is required, especially from his perspective.
And there's the Gerudo
GTG
training
keyring
ground.
is incredibly convenient, actually.
Huh. Keyrings count as major items, right?
Yes, they do. That's our major item. And, okay, he's gonna run straight for GTG, it looks like. Did he even check the third scrub in there?
He might have. He's very fast. Just didn't see it. Ryu, looks like Ryu's heading back to Kokiri.
Oh, actually, wouldn't need
Or
to,
River.
right, because it's one major, so the others have to be junk. Duh. Good point from chat.
What about a magic refill? Or something?
Yeah, he doesn't care. Okay,
No.
that's okay. Chat making right. Duh. It is exact. When they say one major item, not one or more. It's exactly one. Yeah, fair enough. Brain fart.
And Ryu's working back up to Spirit. It looks like.
Yep, going to beat it. Could find something useful in here. Again, from our perspective, we're Water Temple access from no mode, potentially. Pending trials, because we know Shadow Trial is on, we don't know about any others. We're still missing about 10 hints in the seed, so there could still be another trial out there somewhere that we just haven't found the hint for yet. But we don't know.
Yeah, I don't think either runner's too worried about Shadow Trial at this point, knowing that we can complete it. But to your point, there could be another trial that throws us for a loop if we have to do Light Trial, or then we're going to find that last strength.
Yep. That is all key rings located, by the way, since hey, third bottle.
Yeah, or Fire. Fire Trials is one of those easies to forget, but it keeps coming up in RSL.
And our
there's our wallet.
Available wallet.
Now we can afford the other wallet.
Yes, I can. To buy our Forest keyring of dubious use. Given that Forest is in Shadow Temple and we kind of don't have Nocturne.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only way that could be required is if both our ways into Water Temple are locked behind it.
Hmm.
As we get Prelude, that was not worth it. Although pretty quick to get anyway, so not a big deal.
Yeah, nice movement.
Would have been a little bad if I'd gone through like all of Shadow Temple to find Prelude, for instance, but yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that only leaves Serenade left out there as a non-super exciting song.
Even Serenade would be nice because that's a quick trip to Gandon's whenever we finally get our access.
That is true.
Nocturne could be on Bongo, yes, that'd be funny. Nocturne could be, and Nocturne for that matter, could be on Phantom Ganon because this is required only. But I anticipate that one of Alex's next plays is going to check the Adel SFM's dungeon entrance, which will net him his light arrows, so that'll be good. He doesn't have 20 skulls to get his fire keyring. It might be better for him if he doesn't, to be honest, at this point, because he, again, might not need to go into Fire Temple at this stage of the seed.
Yeah, it's very possible. You'll just need to go grab your light arrows and leave.
Yeah.
Looks like he's
heading
up.
over to DMT Ferry.
Yeah.
You know one perk of keyrings? We don't have to keep track of spirit key logic.
We're finding some milk, by the way. So I think that's all our bottles.
Yep, it is. Alex is grabbing the hint here. Which, yes, Bloopy and GTG, very helpful. Sadly, Ryu does not have an ocarina to play ZL to check these checks here. There's probably some NSF not safe for work joke to be made about the Milk and Sarah Temple. I'm gonna spare ourselves from it.
I think that milk's just spoiled at this point. It's sitting out in a hot temple in the middle of the desert.
That too.
Became yogurt. Yeah, maybe. And there's our shadow trial hint again we saw earlier from Ryu climbing up there.
Yep. So
Alex
that's
trying to grab
Alex's
another...
first news, and Alex is probably... I'd probably be relieved to see that since he already has hammer and long shot for it. And
Alex showing us the strat, even though he has hammer equipped. Yep. We appreciate the style. Yeah, so we're checking sunblock room first, using those fire arrows to quickly light the torches.
And 15 skulls for Alex.
And finally, Alex getting around to checking Goron City Maze as adult. And we'll be rewarded for it with that Kokiri sword. The question will be, how long does he wait to go check Deku entrance?
Yeah.
Were you making it out of sunblock room?
I have a bet, by the way, chat, because I think we're from no mode. Where's our other potential no mode? Where's our water temple entrance access, basically? Because between our runners, we know of both strengths, we know all of our dungeons, we know... Yeah, we're really missing how to get into Ganon's castle, is basically what we're missing for no mode.
Yeah, we still have a lot of checks here in Spirit, but to your point, we're not going to be able to see everything since we don't have Ocarina on Ryu's side, so he can't play that Lullaby. It locks him out of a couple of checks here. And then Alex checking Medigoron. What does Medigoron sell today? A purple rupee.
$50.
All right, so
and
no one's...
Kokiri sword in Goron City. Gee, thank you!
Medigoron hiding all of the good secrets today.
I'm gonna give the bet winner to the... since there are two possible items here, I'm gonna give the winner of the bet to whichever item we find first.
And yep, chat's also right. Happy 2 hours. This is Zelda Speedruns. This is the Random Settings League, aka RSL Season 7. This is a round 3 race between RyuuKane and AlexanderHD. Both have won their first 2 matches, so at 2 points. Swiss format, so we're just trying to rack up those wins, earn those points. But I want to thank Star for being with us here today to help commentate and do the restream. And we wanted to thank our trackers, Lady Draco and new IT guy, for helping keep all these items tracked for us. And we want to thank you all for being here with us today.
Yeah, and pleasure to have you on commentary with me as well, Burrito. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Alright, I see someone has redeemed the channel point reward to get a Trez special. Good luck. I have let Trez know, and he will be sending you a message later today with the follow-up to get your seed of doom.
The most ominous of seeds, the Trez seed. But Alexander finally up to adult fountain, and we'll be fighting Spirit Temple here, which Ryu is finishing up right now by going into the boss fight.
Sadly, Alex doesn't have a strength 2 yet. That is in Shadow Temple, which Alex just got the Kokiri sword for access, so he'll get there eventually.
Mm-hmm. But it gives Alex important information, though, about where everything else is.
Yep. And he's not going to be terribly surprised to find Spirit here, given our hints.
No. Only entrances Alex has not checked is I don't believe he's been up to Forest entrance yet, which we do know leads to Fire Temple. And we'll get around to checking Deku entrance, which will lead to Shadow, and then we know from hints that Gan's Tower is at the bottom of Lake Hylia.
Yep.
And well as well.
KLU asking what happens if we would have been on Gold Scale but then boot acquired. It's a moot point, KLU, in this case, because we know that it's the reason why we need one or the other is to get into the entrance of Water Temple. It's not for Water Temple itself, which we've already beaten, because of key rings and Dungeon ER. We need it to get into the Water Temple entrance because Ganon's castle is there, and well, it's Ganon's.
All right, Ryu having a pretty good first phase of Twin Rova so far. And
Alex making
Alex
good
is
use of his silver scale. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, he's definitely heading into Lost Woods here to check Sacred Forest Meadow and Forest Temple entrance.
So he'll get his lights, which are, as I figured, they're basically unmissable.
We're about to finish up Twin Rova here, which will be rewarded with a song. Excited to see which song is left for us here. Good odds of being another warp, though.
Yeah, we're missing more warp songs than non-warps. Alex grabbing a couple more skulls. He's gonna have the same. He's gonna here, but yeah, got lost in here. For some reason, I think he was getting the adult skull by Theodore, but nope. 16 skulls for him. He's gonna have the same thing as Ryu, where he's gonna find his lights in Fire Temple, leave, and then find his Fire Temple keyring a couple minutes later and go really game, as this is Serenade.
Oh, well, that is movement to Gan's Tower, as you pointed out earlier, so not the worst thing to find. I think this will sting a little bit more for Alex than it did for Ryu, because Alex already has Hammer. So finding light arrows leaving, then finding keys when you already had Hammer to be good to go in here, you're just like, well...
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Ryu's heading back into Spirit here. Clean up some checks.
Yep. And there's lights for Alex.
And using that prelude to go likely back to Child here and put that Kokiri sword to work to see what's in Deku.
Yeah, he's chasing dungeons.
Oh, prelude led to
Kakariko. It is Warp Song ER. Okay.
Cool. Requiem was just a coincidence.
Sure.
Huh. All right. I'm down. Cool.
That's a little rude.
That's all right. Well, then Serenade, what would that go?
No, it's not the worst. I mean, well, the thing is, Corbinik or adult spawn is windmill, so it's not a terribly useful thing. I'm just laughing though, because, oh yeah, surprise. But defaulted warps to be vanilla, Requiem is one of the more likely ones because of how logically relevant it can be, so that makes sense. I'm still laughing though. Yeah. Although actually in this case we can full clear DC as child.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering if Alex is going to go do Adult Lake here. Looks like that's where he's backlocking to.
Yeah, that makes sense here. It's a bunch more checks. He's beaten Water Temple, he's beaten Water Temple to get the stuff. And for all we know, and he knows, that the entrance to water, the item we need to get in the door of Water Temple could be just on the doorstep.
Yeah, it's possible.
I will laugh if it's Shoot the Sun. That would be very convenient.
Yeah, again, leaving the keys on the door. Man, the scarce item pool, I mean, it's always been like this, but it feels bad when you don't have chest-masking size contents and textures, because you just keep opening these chests, hoping for something, but you just keep pulling nuts and sticks.
Yep. Alright, Ryu going... Oh yeah, Ryu has... Right, duh. Ryu has access over here. I was to DC as adult by way of Spirit Temple. I was like, forgot about this.
Yeah, a really smart routing from Ryu, beating Twin Rova, saving the Iron Knuckle fight for later, going back out, then using that as a shortcut to get back to DC to finish clearing out as adult.
Yeah, it's just a lot faster, and this is his only way here as adult.
Good point.
Because his Ocarina is in here, and Gerudo Card's hard Ocarina locked.
And then Alex checking the top of Lakeside Lab, putting that Scarecrow song to work that he went out of his way to set up earlier.
Yep,
Stick.
and stick.
And we'll see adult fishing here. And then likely shoot the sun, swimming over, hoping to avoid playing Sunsong and just letting Time of Day run its course. Ryu will have to walk back through DC for part of the route that he's already cleared, as he was not able to make it, or he chose not to make it over that shortcut switch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I am curious to see what's in here because Alex did skip 2 checks, the bomb bag chest and the bridge chest. And if either of those are required, or if either of those are something that could be a problem for Alex. I drops.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Well, at least we know from hints Big Goron doesn't have anything we need.
And he has the warp song. Actually, no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. So yeah, so he doesn't have to worry about that. And red rupee here is no big deal for him. Ryu is probably going to be a little bad about this arena. He could have had this a while ago.
Yeah, so logically, chat's right. Ryu wouldn't be able to reach shortcut switch without the slingshot, but Ryu's a very strong player. They likely could have done the slingshot skip. They just chose not to because they knew logically they wouldn't have to go that way yet.
And the slingshot next to the ocarina is just plain rude.
Yeah, absolutely.
No 2 cents. No 2 way around it. That's just...
Chat, we're not juicing frogs today. Calm down.
Actually, I might be trying a strat here. It's... No, he's opening doors. It's soon... Yeah. It's just something else. Alright, and good, okay, good for Alex. Those 2 checks he left behind in DC are both useless. And we just didn't have choose to get that the first time. True Cola, but yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately that bombable walls is a little too far to use bomb flowers for.
Yep.
And then Alex set up water level and opened the gate for Gans Tower when he does eventually find Boots or Scale.
Yeah. You can't do it with strength as an adult in the bomb flare because that look taller, but yeah, you can't do it as a child.
Yeah, not as a kid.
Yeah, Ryu is gonna finally beat DC here a solid hour and something after Alex did, I think. The big thing that Ryu has right now that Alex does not is that strength upgrade. Alex is going to turn in his Kokiri Sword, which is going to get him Shadow Temple, which will net him his strength too. And then yeah, it's just a game of where's our water entrance and access is what it comes down to.
You're not going for bomb choose strat, just choosing to throw those flowers instead. I respect it. And Alex back to child.
Yeah. Korbanik, it's possible that our water entrance access is in Forest Temple, although we need to hope that we need to find a warp song there, which may not exist given its required only dungeon warp or warp song shuffle. So.
Mm-hmm. I am hoping Ryu does play Serenade to check the warp spot. We'll see, though.
Yeah, because I'm curious where that goes.
looks like he's choosing to save warp instead to get back to Kakariko. So he might wait to be playing that.
Yep. He may just be assuming it's vanilla, too. Although he only just got his Ocarina, so he hasn't had the chance to check warp songs.
Nope. And this is likely a check of Composer's Grave here.
Does there have to be a Nocturne Warp new IT guy? Jabu can't be completed? No, new IT guy, it's full dungeon-y Ganon's Castle. Ganon's Castle is in the temple entrance. That's why we need Irons or Gold Scale. We might not need... We might never get Ice Cavern. We don't need it at this point.
Oh, right. I think Alex checked this chest earlier, but I did not pay attention to what was on Sunsong chest here in Graveyard.
Junk.
That's probably why I did. Yeah, that's probably why I didn't pay attention. Logged it as 5 rupees, then immediately forgot it. Alex back out into River. Going into Domain.
No,
Find
new
a
IT
wallet?
guy, we don't need access to 5 medallions. I'm
what
not
if
sure
Russian
where
Ice
Alex
is the
going.
play? Rush Ice Cavern and Gans Tower, let's go. I guess you can't technically Rush Ice when it's behind 5 medallions.
Yeah.
Alex wanted the wallet. I'm like, I think he's going for the wallet. Because he wants the forest keys in case he wants
he's
them.
not gonna risk the forest keyring, yeah, that makes...
Also, Ryu did get the Ocarina of Time, finding the exit. Ryu's been having this trend where he finds the item that he was unable to get earlier and then immediately finds the subsequent one after it.
Yep.
Alex has done that a few times as well. This seed is just providing excellent randomizer moments.
Absolutely. Between the settings, especially scares will do that to you sometimes. And just the seed, yeah. Good. We've got jokes going on.
Ryu leaving me hanging on the Serenade play, by the way. Like, Ryu is going to head up Death Mountain Trail again.
Yep. And Alex warping to CAC. Let's see where he heads to.
You know, this might be a play to GTG to put those Silver Gauntlets to work to check the back.
GTG into checking the Deku entrance might be where he's going, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he turned the K-Sword and... left?
Yeah, well, Ryu already went inside Shadow and set up the shortcut, so yeah, that could be it. Go do GTG, what you can, go back to Deku, finish up Shadow, see what song you get.
Yeah, and I think Alex might be doing something on his side. Or Alex
I think
did
Alex
turn
is
in his K-Sword, right?
Yeah, he was in Kokiri, so I think he was there. I think I was watching Ryu at the time, but Alex is definitely going to go buy the other wallet, or the other keys here.
Oh yeah, he is.
A lot of revisits to Goron City today, but RSL will do that to you.
Yeah, because there's a lot of checks with a lot of different dungeon item requirements, so...
And then, does not have enough for that shoe set, but can grab that 10 piece. 27 shoes. Alex is loaded. Or 21. It looked like a 7. And then, yeah, Ryu going back into Fire Temple, actually. Wanting to defeat Volve, but doesn't have Hammer.
He's taking his keys.
Ah.
It is a lot of checks for him, which this makes some sense.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of climbing fire.
Yeah.
Personally.
Ryu never got the hint for Ganon's being in Water Temple entrance, but I think he either guarantees Nord or has a pretty good idea at any rate at this point, because there's not given he's seen just about all the rest, so...
Mm-hmm.
This is just him looking for checks. Because from his perspective, he's missing a hammer. Ganons are the two big things he's short on.
Which, early, it's been a little while, so as a reminder, we did see where hammer was. Alex found it in Jabu Jabu, which is behind Gerudo's training ground entrance. So we need that GTG membership card, which is in Lost Woods Ocarina memory game. So, a few steps Ryu's gonna have to take there to still get that hammer.
Yep. Yeah, because Lost Woods is path to Twin Rova. That is confirmed in Gerudo's letter. The Gerudo card doesn't lock Twin Rova, but it is one more item in Lost Woods to have file.
I know. And when you got that path in for Twin Rova earlier being what it was, which looked to be Gerudo's letter, it kind of tempts you to shy away from Lost Woods, but Alex remembering, let me go clear that location anyways, did pay off here. Alex will be able to finish Shadow if he chooses to, since he does have a Lullaby and Ocarina here. Ryu did not have Ocarina earlier.
Unless he finds Iron Boots or Gold Skill on the way, he will. Because it's a good amount of checks, it's a song. Unless he literally finds his potential go mode in here, I don't see a reason he leaves.
No.
Well, I guess he could leave to go to Spirit Temple, but I think I would just stick around and clear it. Especially because there's a song here.
Mm-hmm. Cling Shadow will give Alex all his stones, which unfortunately there's nothing on Ocarina of Time that we're interested in right now. But it's nice just to have the whole set as a collector standpoint. Ryu getting trolled by the keys. I hate these keys. These keys are terrible.
They're very rude. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could open shortcut to do Spirit. It's just kind of a pain to get back here, Ko, is the thing. This is not we have no good way to get back to Shadow Temple. No furores in sight, no warp songs.
Getting out to Sacred Forest Meadow when you don't have the warp song is quite the pain.
Yeah. Oh, not in this case, it's in the deck entrance. But...
Oh, right. Getting back out to here too. Sorry, Alex moves too fast. he was at fire, and then he's like, nope, straight off to Kokiri.
Yeah, I could see an argument being made either way, either to grab Strength 2 and leave, or to stick around and grab the song. It's a defensible play either way. I think personally I'd stick around for this, but I would also get if he decided to leave as well. There's no objectively wrong decision here, given what the information he had.
No. And yeah, as chat pointing out, Ryu had to soft reset there to avoid a heat timer death. That's one of the dangers of course, taking on Fire Temple without Goron Tunic. Both these runners can easily execute on that, but when you get a missed cycle like that from the keys hitting you, it makes it a lot harder to recover, as that fire block room is pretty tight.
Yep. In chat, by the way, we still have a bet active on where our Water Temple entrance access is, either Irons or Gold Scale. If you would like to bet, please do so. I think we're going to close it when Alex grabs the Strength 2.
Yeah, so we have seen a lot of these checks on Alex's side, but again, Alex will be able to full clear Shadow, which will show us a few checks we didn't see earlier from Ryu. And Ryu now is making it through the Rolling Boulder Maze and Fire, about almost halfway up the climb.
Yep.
Now, he did not have the opportunity to set up Scarecrow's song, so he will be skipping Pierre. And there's our second bow.
Okay, well, that's entirely useless. We started with it once, so...
Also, I do like seeing Ryu putting that Lon milk to work that he found in Spirit Temple, having that yogurt to refill his health as needed to manage that fire timer. And Alex taking the hover boots back, Watts strap through there, very cool.
Yep.
And now, this was one of the nice things about Keyring. You don't have to do too many loops here, but unfortunately, since that chest on the right, again, we don't have chest match contents or textures, we're going to shoot that ice switch and go over there and check out what's in it.
Yep.
And now Ryu's going to make his way through the firewall room. Well, Ryu does have long shot. They could pixel shot to go up to Pierre, which honestly Ryu's probably going to do.
I'd probably do that, yeah, in this circumstance. You can certainly do it, and you don't want to leave a check behind, so...
No. There's that could be a tough trick. Some runners opt to maybe give it a few shots, move on. I know Ryu can get it, so not too much of an issue for Ryu.
Yeah. And hey,
welcome in, Raiders.
Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you for the raid. We are just under 2.5 hours into a random settings league race here for Ocarina of Time Randomizer. So it's been a bit of a troll. As RSLCs go, the settings themselves aren't too bad, as we get strength 2 for Alex. But Seed's had some interesting moments.
Alex up to 18, 20 will get him his fire keys. And yeah, right now, again, we're just looking to figure out how do we get into the water temple entrance. Either we need a gold scale or iron boots. And that we still have plenty of checks to look at. Haven't gone to Forest Temple at all. Seeing
Can't
all
get
these...
to Forest Temple and they never get there, yeah.
Exactly. It's up Shadow Temple entrance, so we're not quite sure if we can get up there, how to get up there, if we will need to get up there, as the settings today do seem to be required only, meaning that, hey, if you can't get there, don't worry about it.
Pretty much. Well, you saw both runners do some very hard last look. It is actually Scarecrow, so moot point on Pixel Shot.
Oh, he did have Scarecrow. I don't even remember him setting it up.
No, it's free Scarecrow. He pulled the Ocarina and it appeared immediately.
Oh, Alex gaslit me by going and setting it up earlier.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'd
we've had
agree.
some very miserable last locationing this seed due to just kind of our runners' routes and where stuff was.
Yeah, I think our runners will be done within probably the next hour. That's me jinxing it, of course.
There's not a whole lot left in the seed to do, in all honesty.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even if they full clear everything that's left in the seed, yeah, that's not going to take much more than an hour for them, I think, to just do the rest of the seed. Even if they have to go everywhere looking for that one thing, it can't take them that long.
Yeah, the only thing that we're really missing that might be maybe a requirement, depending on how our trials lay out, are golden gauntlets. With fire and light trials being in play potentially. We've only gotten that hint for Shadow Trial. That's the only thing that I could think could be a monkey's paw on extending this seed so far.
Yeah. Here's an idea, by the way, for stupid places for our temple access that I just thought of. Darklink.
Ah, yeah, we haven't seen any of the checks in Water Temple. Both runners just went in and defeated the boss and left.
We can't. It's the only other check we temple. We don't have Gold Scale, and we don't have Song of Time.
Yeah.
So if Darklink has our irons or gold scale, they're going to be that's going to be a really bad spot for it.
Mm-hmm. Especially since our runners don't even have Song of Time, so we can't even check beyond Darklink. So that's literally quite a commitment just for one check.
Exactly.
I think Forest is a good guess. I think that's nice and trolly. But again, we don't even know if we can get in there. So we'll see.
Nope. But yeah, both runners are now... Well, yeah, Ryu's a hammer and that from Go mode. Alex is just that from Potential Go.
We have not checked Serenade yet.
Serenade, no.
No, so
Jinxed.
Ryu is Ryu's really holding out on us here on that information, but he has a lot of things to action and do, so I think that's why he's not too particular about checking where it heads. Nice bomb tree strat there. Take it by to Flare Dancer. And Alex coming up on the ferry. Everything behind the ferry will be new information for us here in Shadow Temple.
You mean the boat?
Yeah, it's a ferry. It's a ferry because it ferries the dead.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean now.
Well, yeah, with an E, not with an A.
You confused me there for a second.
Coming up on the ferry in Shadow Temple. What? Or I guess more accurately, it ferries the prisoners of war that she could take in. Canon.
Yeah, and it looks like Alex is going to open the shortcut, so he's going to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, rather understandable play from his perspective. Or no, he's going to go to the back anyway. Okay?
Yeah, why not? I think the shortcut was just in case. Just in case the boss is Baronade or something. Well, no, it's not randomized. Just in case I die?
I guess.
Double damage South Posts are scary. We're about to see a couple of them. I mean, you can make it walk off the boat, but... Oh, there's Iron Boots!
Oh, there's irons! Okay, Hammer Chest,
right.
Iron Boots. That's rude.
Yeah, and Ryu's gonna go straight to Ganon's with that.
Yep.
Never mind. Go straight to Kokiri, because that's where Serenade takes us.
Funny.
It takes you home.
Yeah, right. Okay, no one wins the bet, because no bet Fire Temple or anywhere.
What?
So yeah, Ryu is going to be focus heading Ganon's castle. He will not be able to beat the game right now because we know his hammer isn't there. That Ocarina Memory game Gerudo card's in quite the rude spot for Ryu.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't remember who got the Ganon's Tower hint. It might have been Alex.
It's Alex, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Ryu doesn't know it's tower, so he's just gonna go, oh, cool tower.
Hammer's required for Shadow Trial, actually, yes. We know Shadow Trial is on. We don't know about any rest. Nice Zora tunic.
Mm-hmm.
Irons are on Hammer Chest, KLU. We know Shadow Trial is on. There might be one or two other trials on. There's still a couple of hints we haven't seen, hint stones we haven't seen, so it could be on one of those. But odds are low. 20 skills there for Alex, so that gets him his Fire Keyring, which he'll turn in at some point soon, I'd imagine. And that would point him to Fire Temple for his irons. Now, Ryu does have some time here. Alex still has to go beat Spirit Temple and either climb all of Fire Temple or find his gold scale somewhere else. We don't know.
Yeah. It's still a very close race. Alex had a pretty clear lead with some of the items for a long time, but that Iron Boots pull might be very significant there for Ryu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fire Trial or Light Trial would be the trolls here.
Ryu being thorough with this Lakeside Lab check as well.
Yep, makes sense. Nothing on Floormaster, so the last item in Shadow will be our song, which could be we are missing a POTUS, Song of Time, Song of Storms, and 3 Warp Songs, which could all of those could go anywhere since it's Warp Song destination rando.
Nice use of Pierre with a long shot there. Void's having to watch the cutscene for the statue falling down.
Yep.
Love when we can do it.
Yeah, it is. It is in logic as well, though it doesn't come up terribly often for that to be logically required.
No, I feel like you're usually hunting for long shot more than you are bow at that point.
Yeah, for sure. Although it does happen on rare occasions.
That's true. I have seen it.
So have I.
All right, replaying Sun Song to get Shoot the Sun, and Alex taking on Bongo Bongo. And I don't know what that was, but Ryu wasn't interested.
We saw it earlier from Alex, and he didn't bother getting it either. I don't. Is
Yeah. Deku Nuts? Oh, yeah, the glowy part. Yeah. Oh.
Alright,
Nice.
and in Gantagannons we go for Ryu. Alex beats Bongo here.
Yeah, that was a very nice quick kill from Alex, and we're going to finally see what song is here.
It's just Shadow Trial.
It's just Shadow Trial. That's unfortunate for Ryu. But it does give us more Seed to watch. The Seed wants us to have content here. Nice scrub checks here, though. Gonna get maybe 4 cool checks, or just get scammed 4 times in a row.
Well, scammed so far once, twice, 3 times. There's Minuet.
Okay.
And yep, scrubs are a scam.
Minuet is a good pull for Alex. They'll give him access back to Fire Temple a little bit quicker. Should he go there back there to check for those iron boots?
Yep. And Alex is going to check Minuet, see where this goes.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting it's randomized because Requiem gaslit me. Mark it?
Mark it. Funny game.
Irons were in Hammer Chest and Fire Temple.
Yeah. Hammer is Fire Temple Keyring is on 20 skulls, and Alex just got his 20th skull out of Shadow, so he'll go grab that at some point in the next whiles.
Were you grabbing Blue Fire?
And King Zora, I guess.
Yes.
Whoop, and Alex's Twitch decided to go puts out again.
That's okay. It'll come back. I have faith, as Ryu checks Forest Trial quickly. Going around getting the checks in Gan's Tower while he's here, which is a good idea.
Yeah, very
being
good
thorough.
play. From his perspective, he might as well. We know it's not here, but he doesn't.
No. And he could pull something else. So, lots of checks left.
Yeah. I did verify Alex is local record.
Yes.
That is not an issue. Friendly reminder to everyone. You are a tournament race. Please local record your stream, your gameplay, as well as stream it, because in case anything happens like this, we need a recording to be able to check it.
Absolutely. I'm going to refresh just to make sure.
I've had to VOD check before because of that, and thank you. Yes, please, to our trackers as well, please refresh your pages as we find Zipball and Spirit Trial.
Mm-hmm. But Alex finally back in Spirit with gauntlets, so Alex is going to be clearing Spirit here.
Oh yeah, and he has ZL and an Ocarina, which Ryu did not have when he was in here previously.
Mm-hmm.
So this
puts in logic. 4 checks?
Yeah, there's 4 ZL locked checks that Ryu couldn't get earlier, and could be on one of them.
You're checking Shadow Trial, can't finish it, but you got some checks in here.
Nuts.
You're showing how to do Shadow Trial with long shot. Love to see it.
Yep.
And what's in this last box here? Another stick.
Lovely.
Honestly, not surprised at this point.
Yeah, me neither. Alright, where's Serenade going?
To
Kokiri. Oh yeah, because we saw that already. Link's house stuff.
Mm-hmm. Ryu played it earlier trying to get to late quickly and just mashed through it, and then it was like, oh, warps are randomized. Well, this is still closer than where save quit would have put me, which would have been cat.
Yeah.
The Ryu's going to exit Sand's Tower, having exhausted the checks and not able to push forward. Let's see where he decides to go next. I don't know if he did adult fishing yet. That might be where he's heading.
Mm-hmm.
Serenade's I Want to Go Home song sure is today. And while we have this moment where we see some things that we saw earlier, I want to remind everybody that this is only round 3 of RSL. They're still playing matches ahead. Looking at the restream schedule so far, it looks like we might have another restream on Tuesday. So lots more matches ahead here on Zelda Speedruns.
Yep. Look, we'll have one tomorrow, I think. Forget the time, but it's not. The schedule needs to be updated. Which I will do that after this race if I remember to do so. There's eye drops for Ryu, which we know are junk.
How does a Swiss tournament work? So the way a Swiss tournament works is that it's based on accrued points, and then players with the same amount of points play against each other, and whoever has the most points at the end wins. So Ryu and Alex have won their first 2 matches, so they both have 2 points. And that's why they're matched against each other now. So the winner of this match will move on to with 3 points, playing against another player who has 3 points. And the loser of this match will play against somebody who's 2 and 1. There is strength 3
That's
behind
entirely.
Zelda's Lullaby.
That's hard strength 2 locked, and also for Alex.
Yeah. Wow.
Because his Ganon's access is his go mode. He's probably happy to see it, just because he doesn't know that we don't have. It's just Jeddah Child. But yeah, it's one of those. Well, and actually, and then in this tournament, Swiss is used for seeding into brackets. I forget the top. I forget if it's top 8 or top 16, but I think top 8 will be going on to brackets out of Swiss. And that's the people with the best scores. Ryu's back into Shadow Temple, which makes sense for him for density.
Yeah, because he was unable. He set up shortcuts. So he's gonna take the boat back, check the back of Shadow, get his song from the back, which we now know is a prelude with jokes, and right, or no, minuet.
Yeah.
The other warp.
Yeah. He is starting to run low on check. Third fire, we can't get into forest and it might never go there. Deku's in Jabu, which he hasn't done yet.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately,
we're never doing. He hasn't been into Jabu, unfortunately, because he can't get there without doing the memory game, or his Gerudo card to get in the door of GTG, which is where Jabu is at today. Because that's where his hammer is. He isn't clearing any more of GTG without the keyring, which is hard hammer locked on the crater scrub, so he doesn't need to go back there ever.
No. And yeah, that GTG membership card being in Lost Woods on the Ocarina minigame is a really rough place, as both runners were there multiple times before getting to that check. Alex just pulled that Ocarina earlier and was pathing by it when he was able to grab it, but Ryu's going to have to go out of his way to get that check.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling it's going to be a last location for him.
Yeah, and I don't fault him for it. That's, at this point, a hard place to route.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. There's a lot of ways to last location things in this seed just because of where everything ended up.
Absolutely.
Because for those who missed it, Ryu started the seed by hard last locationing our only available explosives of the seed. We still haven't seen either bomb bag, and the other chew pack was in Tech Grotto, which was available though.
So when Ryu was in Spirit Temple, Ryu took a little bit of a different route than Alex did, cleaning out some checks, going up defeating the boss, then coming back in, getting the checks on this side later to take the hand axe out to Desert Colossus to get back in to finish DC. Alex already finished DC, so Alex is just going to play through this fairly normally and just pick up all the checks because he has no concern about getting back to DC, especially with Requiem being Requiem.
Yeah, well, he does have 2 checks left in DC, but yeah, Requiem's Requiem, so he doesn't care.
At that point, Ryu still didn't even have Ocarina.
Nope, because Ryu, the last location is Ocarina pretty hard on in DC.
Yeah. Again, getting those explosives like over 30 minutes later, rough.
Yeah, then it just kind of snowballed.
Does Alex go to DC to check those checks before going to Fire? He has easy access, so he could easily do that. Fire would be more of a dense play, though, so I think he would probably go to Fire first.
I could see it going either way.
Yeah, those 2 checks are faster than climbing Fire.
Yeah, he does have.
Yeah,
that's a point.
20, yeah.
Yeah, he has to turn 20 in if he wants to do Fire. There's not a lot of places left for that gold scale, for that matter.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could very easily be in Ganon's Tower at this point, because we know we have access with the Iron Boots, so it could just be stuck back there.
Oh yeah, it could absolutely be in Late Trial. It could also be... It could be in accessible Forest, the rest of permanently inaccessible Jabu. Child Spirit would be silly.
And as a reminder, we're saying that it could be inaccessible because required only is on for this seed, meaning that Iron Boots could be your only access into Ganon's Tower, because you technically don't need that second scale.
Nope. Oh yeah, there's also Hammer Rocks. Good catch, chat.
Oh. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Haven't seen Hammer Rock yet. Another out-of-the-way check, but one that we could do.
Okay, it wasn't Spirit Temple, so that's good for Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once Alex beats Spirit here, they're going to be basically tied up in... they're going to be fairly tied up in terms of definitely 100% hard progression. I think Ryu has... assuming gold scale's unavailable, that's going to be a... Climbing Fire is slow for Alex. So
yeah,
we'll see what the play is.
If he turns in 20, I think they'll push him towards Shadow, like you mentioned earlier in the commentary. But if he avoids checking 20 for a while, then yeah, it could be a bit before he gets back into Fire.
Yeah. Let's see where Ryu goes now that he's done with Shadow.
Checking where Minuet going, knowing warps are randomized now, finding goes to Market.
Yeah, it's gonna go back to Cack instead. Gold Scale could also just be deep in Water Temple. It could also be on Dark Link, which would be just rude.
Alright, so we have Alex coming up on Twin Rova here on the right side, and it looks like Ryu is going to go back up Death Mountain Trail. I wonder if this is Ryu dipping into water to do some checks there.
It would make sense for him with his Iron Boots at this point. It might be his best density.
Yeah, and with Keyring, we have a few more checks out of water, because normally water in Ocarina of Time doesn't have many item checks, as there's a pretty good number of keys in ratio to chests, but that actually puts quite a few chests back into play.
Oh yeah, there's 4 checks in like your typical weekly settings. But in this seed with the key rings, we've got 6 additional to make it 10. Well, and subtract the song, so 9 effectively.
And he's going straight for Dark Link.
Yep. It is perhaps the most efficient way of doing it in the key when you have all the keys already.
Yeah, and we're still dead-ended by the Song of Time block over here anyways.
Yeah. Keep forgetting we don't have Song of Time.
I know, right? We're almost 3 hours in, and we're still lacking a lot of songs, but that's just what happens when they're on dungeon rewards.
No, especially in required only with gearings, we may never get to, and Warp Song Destination Shuffle, we might never see some of these songs. We're never going to see some of these songs guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely. We're not seeing... Like, I don't think we're going to see what's on Baronade, straight up.
Well, it's impossible for us to see the item on Baronade!
Exactly.
Ouch for Alex.
Getting an unfortunate shot there in Twin Rubber. Gonna have to restart that fight. And climb back up. So this is some time for Ryu to come back here and gain some time on Alex.
Yeah, Ryu does currently have something of an edge just because of, even aside from this death in spirit, which is quite unfortunate. It's gonna take a while for Alex to climb Ball of Fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Alex has a mind of steel will. No emotional damage there. That's just how it goes.
Oh, hey, BGS on Dark Link.
Yeah, but wow. Ooh, unfortunate jump slash there. Clipping through. Not quite getting up on the ledge. I feel like getting Big Goron Sword after defeating Dark Link is a little bit salt in the wound. However, our runners have not had the opportunity to accrue very many hearts, so it's not like Dark Link had a lot of hearts this fight anyways. Yep, and then Ryu just clearing out water. I instinctively tried to peek that chest Ryu's swimming up by, but then I forget, doesn't matter if I peek it. Nice chew drops, very generous for Ryu there. Yep, sure is a chest. And Ryu going to lower the water level here. Now Ryu did find Zora's Tunic, so that does put Central Pillar in logic for him as well. That could be part of his thought process here as he continues to work through Water Temple. Yeah, Corbig. So chat's mentioning that if using lens to peek chests, like anywhere, I think that setting has been looked into before. I don't know if there was technical limitations on it. I think that was the case.
Kind of SLU, yeah. It needs to. At this point, it doesn't look like Gold Scale is particularly accessible. It's possible it's around somewhere, but there's really not many checks left at all. So Alex most likely needs to turn 20 skulls in for his fire keyring. He does have 20. It's just a matter of time before he gets back there. And then Ryu, Ocarina of Ever game is a really terrible check for.
But Alex finishing up Twin Rova, getting his revenge there, will be rewarded for it with a Serenade that leads him straight to Kokiri. Not too much of a use at this point for Alex, having cleared out those areas.
He does have Prelude at least, which takes him back to CAC, so that'll make the 20 skulls turn in faster.
Yeah, it does put him closer than Windmill, slightly.
He's also on VC, so it's faster than Safe Quit.
That's true. Gotta always remember about the VC's reset. And yeah, you called it. Actually, he's checking Serenade first.
Actually playing Minuet to go back to market, okay.
Might be going child. Oh, checking fairy.
Yeah.
And outside Gan's Tower.
I forgot this existed.
It's easy to, especially since, we learned Bridges 5 medallions and it just leads to Ice Cavern. You just kind of want to forget this whole area exists at this point and hope that you don't have to come back here. But Alex just going, well, kind of running out of things to do, and this one's kind of out of the way a little bit, and I just got a Warp Stone that takes me back here, so might as well. And let's see if remembering about the strongest fairy helps us today. No, but at least fulfilled his hearts.
It reminds me, I was thinking about what this fairy has in vanilla. In case anyone's wondering, nice wallet. Double defense is removed in scarce.
Oh, thank you for checking. Yeah, and Ryu actually finding a wallet in water, so we now know where all of our wallets are. That will give Ryu access to another wallet to get forced temple keys, but at this point, looks like we don't really need to go to Forest Temple because we can't.
Yeah, pretty much. There's the Ganon's boss key for Alex.
Mm-hmm. And yep, he's going back to
Alex
Shell
might
here.
be routing 20 skulls with chickens and Dompe, because I don't think he's done either of those checks. Ryu did it in the process of her last locationing chess game.
Yeah. We're about to go check boss key chest, which I think starting to run low on checks here in water.
Yeah, there's not a lot left in here. Central Pillar, I think, is still left. And $50.
And then
There
grab
is
that
very,
fairy.
very, very little left in it, no matter which way you cut it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex?
Alex was double checking the shop. I think he's looking for maybe more shoes or something. Or not. Maybe he's trying to refresh his memory here. It's been a bit since our runners have been into either of these market shops.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's heading over to get his Ocarina check by happenstance, because we know that this isn't required. Yeah, just gonna run by it. We know it's junk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we are. There's the ranch song check we haven't seen.
That's true. We gotta go say hi to Malin.
And Alex hasn't done ranch at all. Only Ryu was there. I think. Oh, no, he was there. Yeah, because he's the one. No, Ryu's the one who hasn't been there because GTG right. It is the Well Key and the Ganon's key ring are the ones that are here. So
that's right.
Ryu's the one who got those. Yep, I'm mixing things up. Ryu's missing the GTG key from the Crater Scrubs, which he's never getting because that's locked behind his go mode.
Correct. I believe this may be the last check in water for Ryu here.
I think I might, yeah.
Usually Central Pillar's routed in last. Now again, he can't check what's in the river beyond Darklink, as we don't have Song of Time. So that's a little bit of a mystery to us.
And Heart Piece.
And yes, he's warping out of...
Yeah, never mind, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, he's warping out back to Kokiri.
Yeah.
And Alex is going to go around and peek the silo, looks like.
Peek the silo, grab the scrubs, which the Well and Ganon's keys will do absolutely zip all for him.
At the moment, yeah. And I guess, yeah, his go mode is... He won't care about the interior of Tower, other than Shadow Trial.
Yeah. Alright, Ryu back in Lost Woods. Unfortunately, he's an adult. No, he'd go here as child, which is a really awful check for him.
Yeah,
Ryu's
just
going
terrible.
back to Adult Spirit, which makes sense for him. This he's gonna go use that blue fire on King Zora, I think.
Good
Man,
point.
this is kind of just a feels bad on all fronts.
Yeah, you're just basically who's gonna check the check they need to check first. And again, I'd agree that I think Alex has a higher chance of getting around to checking 20 before Ryu checks Ocarina minigame at this point.
Yeah, the thing too, though, is it's just a really slow climb to Fire Temple.
Ryu definitely has plenty of time to get around to that check still.
Yeah. Okay, back to market for Alex. I want him to play Prelude because that's his market, his CAC warp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is he checking Mask of Truth? It looks like. Sure is.
Yep.
We're not done, child, yet.
Oh. Okay, that's fine. Makes sense. And Ryu check King Zora. Sadly, that's dead.
Looks like he's gonna go check the bottom of Fountain and Fairy back here.
And Adult Spirit ZL lock checks, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Alex is definitely starting to scratch his head at what have I got left? Because he's double checking shops for what might be there.
Ryu a bit in the same situation, but Ryu does have just more to action right now, anyways, with these the Spirit of Time, Spirit Temple revisit.
Yeah.
Alex stretching a little bit more here to find what's missing.
Yep. And happy 3 hours, everyone.
Yep, this is hour 3 of the Random Settings League Season 7 tournament here on Zelda Speedruns. This is round 3 between RyuuKane and AlexanderHD, both putting on excellent performances in a seed that ended up being a bit more difficult than we first anticipated with some of the settings that have shown up here. But commentating with me today is Star, who's also been running the restream and managing a lot of the settings tracking for us, so thank you very much. We also want to thank our trackers today, New IT Guy and Lady Draco, for keeping us up to date on what the items their runners have. There's been a lot of between finding items with these scarce settings, so it can be easy to miss things when not too much is going on for a little bit on the tracking side. So we appreciate your attention, and we also appreciate all of you here with us today watching. Random Settings League is really fun. You get a lot of variety between the races, and it's great to see such skilled runners who are really at the top of the RSL game here, putting on good shows with whatever settings may come up.
Alright, and Alex is in Child CAC, so this is good. He is going to get his Fire Keyring, he's going to do Check Instant Dampe while he's here, and Alex is on the road to go mode at this point. It's just, at this point, it's a matter of Alex thinking about it, but yeah, you have to check Instant Dampe here in case one of them is your go mode.
Yeah, I'm sure finding keys on 20 at 3 hours does make Alex think, ooh, Ryu might have got that a while ago, which Ryu has. However, given the position of that membership card, Ryu just doesn't have the hammer.
No, because Ryu got that Ocarina so late due to getting explosives so late. It's just I'm sure they probably both feel behind because they've both been having a few troubles this seed, but they've had different troubles.
Yeah, which seems to be a common occurrence in RSL, both runners running into slightly different walls.
Yep. Because there's a lot of possible variants, especially in a seed like this where the win condition is pretty low, just because we got nearly everything for Spirit pretty early. 3 is probably a bit like, really? At that strength 3?
Mm-hmm.
Alex is probably just warping away to someplace where you can play Sunsong and then warp back.
Ryu up to 40 chews, by the way.
Actually, no. That Alex, excellent. Did Alex check Dompy already? He might have forgot. He's just going back adult. Please stay on topic, chat.
That's all right. Kinda. There's no we can't fly in this version of Zelda, unfortunately, but both runners are flying through the seed as fast as they can. So there is some speed going on, but this is definitely not a jet seed.
Oh, no. Not at all.
No. Songs on Dungeon Rewards threw that out the window.
Yeah, that setting is nearly pretty much always guaranteed to give you a curveball.
Mm-hmm. Alex going back to Forest to make a play for Fire Temple now.
Yeah. I mean, this is the perf. This makes sense.
Yeah, so again Alex does have all of Fire Temple to climb.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's going to be slow. And I wonder if he might choose to beat Volvagia first as well, since he has the option.
That's a potential.
Because he's missing Bolero, Nocturne, Epona's Song of Time, and Song of Storms. And the one he's probably hoping for would be Storms, because we know Well is in its vanilla entrance, and that would be a lot of checks.
Yeah, especially since we have Keyring, and then also that'll give us access to all the Song of Storm grottos that we have yet to check.
Yeah, and there's quite a few scrubs there too.
I think the thing we don't want him to see is a warp song that actually takes him to the Nocturne warp pad, because that could bait him into going to Forest, but I don't think it will. I think he'll fully clear Fire before trying that.
Yeah. You know what would be funny is if Song of Storms is on Volv, he does that first and then promptly finds Gold Scale on the scrubs right outside.
That'd be cruel, but it would be funny.
It'd be convenient for him if he did that, but the odds of that are
Yeah, the other during the race on Thursday, we had somebody in chat respond to my comment of RSL's fun, and then they're like, in what way? And I went Schadenfreude.
Okay, yeah, and Alex is starting with the boss.
Mm-hmm. This is a safe play. It can prevent you from having to climb all the way up if you find what you need on it.
Yeah.
Gonna grab some fairies, because double damage, Volvagia, that's a tough one, and then also gotta manage that fire timer.
Yep. Because, yeah, Ryu had some problems here earlier with that. Ryu, in the meantime, has gotten out of Spirit Temple and is heading back to Hyrule Field. Let's see where he goes next.
That angle looks like...
Tektite Grotto, so that's where it's going.
I thought he did peek it earlier, but it looks like that angle is Valley to Fortress, maybe?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Still no card, unfortunately.
This will be Ryu's time, marking out there for the first time, so he'll see that Carpenters are rescued, so he'll realize that membership card's somewhere else.
No, they banned no Gerudo card shuffle. They know card shuffle is on.
Oh, right. Actually, it looks like he's going to go back to tower for those strength 3 checks.
Not an unreasonable play from his perspective. Light Trial is a lot of checks.
Yeah, very dense. Yeah, to chat's point, I think Alex is the clear lead here, unless he gets baited into something. And he just has to climb Fire to get his go mode.
Yeah. It won't be fast, but then again, going Child, running all the game, going back Adult, and running all the way back to Fortress isn't fast either.
No, because I think that's the only check left in Lost Woods for Ryu. At least he has a warp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's an item set up to go do the rest of Fire there.
Yep,
and there is Bolero.
Is not great.
I mean, it could warp him somewhere cool. I don't know if he's going to bother checking him, though, before clearing Fire, so I think he's going to find his boots here.
I mean, he knows that there's nowhere it can really take it. That would be super useful. I mean, he'll play it just to see, but...
Okay.
Yeah, storms have been about the only thing to really drag him off. Thanks for the ranch
Mhm.
warp. No.
Wow, that's a fun warp. But yeah, climbing fire, very dense, already here. Gonna do the basement loop first here with or the hammer loop here, and then yeah, that long ranch warp's probably
Oh,
the
hey,
ugliest
first
warp.
bomb bag!
Cool. Finally. A little over 3 hours in, and we find that bomb bag finally.
Yeah, after Ryu hard last location, his chew bag. Very confirms that this was a hard chew bag.
Yep.
Hey, VG fan, yeah, nice to see you. It's been a bit. Yeah, for those just joining in, we are 3 hours 9 minutes. RyuuKane needs to go back to Child Lost Woods for Ocarina Memory Game to get his group, check the GTG entrance as adult, to find Jabu to get his hammer in the boomerang chest, to go beat Shadow Trial for Go Mode. Alex needs a pair of iron boots, which is in the hammer chest, to go get into the Water Temple entrance, which is where Ganon is at today, and that's his Go Mode.
Mm-hmm. Still though, like you've been mentioning earlier, if Ryu finds just, you know, scales, could just avoid the whole issue. But again, scales might not be attainable, or at least gold scale.
Yeah, gold scale's a decent chance of sitting in Forest Temple, to be honest, at this point.
Hmm.
Gold scale here would be really nice for Alex.
That's true, we didn't check the hammer loop.
Nope, because, well, Ryu's Go Mode is the hammer. And for those wondering, Ryu had a very, very, very late Ocarina. It was in DC, locked behind the True Bag. The only logical and only available explosives in the seed was a True Bag on the treasure chest minigame. They started with magic. Lens was very early in Mito's house, and unfortunately, this is something that we were talking about quite early on in with Chad, is that the way it is logical to choose, but the way the hint was worded might have been a bit confusing, because the very first hint we saw in this scene, like 3 minutes in, was that treasure chest minigame had 10 bomb shoes, which might have led Ryu to believe that it wasn't logical bomb shoes or so, which it wasn't helping at any rate. He hard last location had a bit over an hour in. And that hard locked your only available ocarina in DC, which hard locked is Go Mode right now.
Hammer climbs long, and Alex might hit setbacks like Ryu did on the way up. But we'll see. Ryu's checking Fairy here outside Hyrule Castle, and then I was thinking what Ryu had left to do, and I don't think Ryu did Zora's Domain yet, so he might warp to Kokiri using Serenade, hit Ocarina minigame on the way, and that would bail him out.
He doesn't have a scale to dive to Domain, though.
That's true. Looks like he's going for the save and quit here.
Yeah. Because the scale is vanilla! On Zora diving, of all places.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryu does have some time, because, yeah, climbing fire is slow.
Yeah, but it does look like, to your point, he's going to walk out and maybe walk towards River.
Yeah, and if he goes into Deku, which is in the Jabu entrance, and would be a very logical play here, that would just be more of a time sink. Going to Ranch also makes sense.
Just to check Malin.
Yeah, I mean, you can't leave anything behind, not when you're this low on checks.
Yeah.
Because between the two runners, I think we've seen every check available. We're going to have seen every single check that's available in the scene, just about.
Too bad it doesn't look like we're seeing everyone's favorite temple, Forest Temple.
Yeah.
Alex setting up for the skip there.
There we go. Okay,
Playing Minuet. Yeah.
That's a market warp for Ryu. Not sure we're gonna see a sub 330 today. It's getting a little tight for it. I think it's too late for Alex and probably too late for Ryu.
Well, because they didn't ban Castle Collapse, right? So we could have another 2 minutes tacked onto our Gans Tower.
I forgot there was a bow in here, which was entirely useless, but yeah. Okay, now Ryu's going to River. Yeah, I think he might. I think he knows that. I think he knows Deku is here, and I think he knows it's either Deku or Jabu, and there's not room to do. So this makes sense.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate as Deku doesn't have anything, and as we saw earlier when Alex ran it.
Yeah, Deku was a snooze fest. It did have Requiem, which was Alex's warp to Colossus.
Yeah.
Well, warp to Colossus, except for the Ocarina, is in DC, so it wasn't a very good warp.
Oh yeah, no, I always jinx it. I think that's just a side effect of comms. When you make a prediction like, oh, they'll probably finish within an hour. You just kind of ruin it. But they're close. Like, Alex is on a set path here to a hard end, so it's just Ryu trying to beat that time right now, but is unfortunately making the right plays logically, I think. He has no idea membership cards in Ocarina minigame. That's kind of sitting out on its own.
Yeah,
so
it's just in such a rude spot.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Like, Ryu's plays here is smart. It's just unfortunate.
Yep. Yeah, when you said that like about an hour ago, when someone would finish within the hour, I was thinking that maybe within the hour might be a stretch, but I'm pretty sure this will sub 4 because there's not enough in the game to not sub 4.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, as far as things goes, for these runners, despite the terrible item locations, honestly, there's just only so much to do in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Despite all the last locationing and the backtracking and the everything else, there's just only so much in the scene to do.
I'm sure our runners are thankful for it. I don't think either of them really wanted an 8-hour scene.
Yeah. Especially because we have no breaks. If anyone's wondering, they did choose to not have any breaks, so I was worried that Maida was gonna say, hey, Maida was gonna be like, hey, no breaks? Haha! You're gonna be wishing you did. But thankfully, sub 4 hours is not awful for RSL.
No.
I've been in the comp seat for RSL seeds that took upwards of 6 hours before, and yeah, it is tiring.
Yeah, Thursday's 5-hour seed was a little bit towards the end, soul leaving my body. The seed took something from me.
Yeah.
It was just one of those seeds where both runners ended up effectively last locationing the thing they needed.
Yeah, I think the one I had was some utterly miserable 80-some bridge or some utter disaster that took 6+ hours on comms.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the high skull token bridge requirement to show up on a restream, and then everybody on volunteer is like, oh.
Yeah, I think the one I had that was 6+ hours, it was like a super high token requirement, and Sunsong was like permanently unavailable or stupid late or something like that, so they were just having us log.
Yeah. Why hasn't everyone finished yet? Because Ryu hasn't found a membership card for Hammer, and Alex is about to find Iron Boots, so we're close to somebody finishing.
Yeah, oh, this is pure chess, but yeah, give it another like 3 or 4 minutes and we'll have go mode for Alex. Yeah,
he's just climbing fire, clearing it out on the way up.
Yeah, fine. As settings go, this one was moderate for RSL. Not super nice, but not complete trash either. The scene itself has been fairly terrible for the settings, though.
Yeah, looking back at the races so far this tournament, most of them seem to float around 3 to 3.5 hours, so this isn't abnormal.
Yeah, this is pretty average, since it'll be probably about a 340 or so for Alex.
Yeah, that's looking to be the case. Yeah, not too many sub-3s so far. And Alex is setting up here for the remainder of Fire with those items set up, and Ryu getting into the basement of Deku. Using that bomb bag. 3-hour bomb bag.
Yes. That bomb bag that took 3.5 hours to find.
We'll defeat Goma here and find Requiem. Not going to be interested in that at all.
Nope, he's already full clear DC and Clock. It's foolish.
Yep. But hopefully this encourages him to do more Child Overworld after this, maybe?
Yeah. Chad commenting on the jet seats. They're still over. There's a race like just a regular season race, not a not brackets or anything race. It's been a few years now, but I think still holds the record for fastest ever RSL race and one that fastest on race time that wasn't like a April Fool's Day joke kind of thing. Where the fastest race was a One Piece Triforce hunt that took a whopping 4 minutes.
RSL delivering the goods.
Yeah, it was all the 4 minutes because it was over. You had a couple options of where to go from Star, and most people took the option that took you to the Triforce piece within the first 5 minutes. I think the slowest finish time was sub 10.
Mm-hmm.
It might have, Neil. Yeah. We did have a One Piece Triforce hunt tourney a couple years back. That was pretty fun.
Anyone who ever complains about a randomizer settings taking too long, that was the tournament for them.
Yeah, I think for that 4-minute scene, once everyone I think the slowest time was sub 10 minutes, which is hilarious. If you really want to go dig around in race time, the race room is still out there somewhere. But I think everyone after that was just like, yeah, okay, let's go rerun. As they ran it back and got a more normal RSL scene that did not take 4 minutes. Yeah. And Alex has beaten the Flare Dancer.
Mm-hmm. Almost to the chest, so get their iron boots, and he will head straight to Ganon's after this. Ryu, unfortunately, not going to have enough time to keep up here, working on clearing Zora's domain, and then, depending where he goes after this, depends whether or not he even makes it back into tower before the end of the scene.
I don't think he will, to be honest.
Yeah, what do you think he's going to head after this? Back to adult?
I'm not sure, honestly, as here's his silver scale. He does at least now have the option to dive back to Lost Woods if he wanted to. And there's go mode for Alex.
Yeah. It does look like he's going to go back to Lost Woods and do what remains, which will get him his membership card.
Yep.
But yeah, unfortunately, he'll still have to make it out to... He'll have to go adult, make it back out to Garuda's Fortress, go in, get the boomerang chest from Jabu to get the hammer. So just too much time to make up at this point.
Yep.
Still a relatively close match, especially for RSL. I think part of that played
into... a bit
into...
of back and forth. It wasn't clear, the leads... there wasn't really a clear one person who's 100% ahead. Alex certainly had an advantage for a while with items, but it wasn't like Ryu wasn't still doing checks and all that. And Ryu did get Ganon's access much sooner than Alex. It's just that Ocarina kind of fighting Ryu.
Yeah. Alex just found the right items on the right route. Again, that bomb bag being the huge difference here at the beginning.
Yeah, bomb bag, or yeah, chew bag, just turning
bag,
into
yeah.
light. That was just a rough one for Ryu.
Yeah, Ryu did, showing how strong of a runner he is, he did make up a lot of time despite not having that shoe bag for the longest time.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex is indisputably in the lead. Would take a real disaster for him to lose, I think, because it's just too much for you to do.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even think Ryu has a fast way over to Fortress at this point to have to play Requiem and then reverse.
Yep. Never saw Eponos. Think Eponos is permanently unavailable, so...
Yeah, not a big deal. Didn't need beans, and, you know, no cows, so... It would take it like a collapse death. Yeah, at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Alex checking the trials.
Yeah. I mean, he can beat all the trials, so I was just double checking. Yep, just the one.
Mm-hmm. He's not going to even be worrying about checking anything. He's just going to run through and finish this because he knows he's in go to mode.
Yep.
Yeah, the hints,
the hints this season
terribly helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Lake Way of the Hero, great, thank you. The scrubs there had a Shadow Keyring and a Strength upgrade. Lost Woods Path to Twin River for Rudo's letter, and our Gerudo card ended up being there, so that wasn't the path. DC Way of the Hero, gee, thanks, yes. And Graveyard Path to Twin River for the Spirit Keyring was also a gee, thank you game.
Yeah,
not very helpful.
The runners actioned those paths as they, you know, found them, as we saw them paying close attention to Lost Woods. But it was mostly just the settings guiding them at this point.
Yeah, the chess game hint was bad. Yeah, unfortunately for you, given that was the hint they saw, and I don't know. I personally might not even if I thought that 10 bomb chews meant that it was not logical chews, I still probably would have gone and picked them up just to have explosives even out of logic, especially with how dry the start was. But I don't know. It's if Ryu interviews, I'm curious to see what his thoughts on that are.
Are you playing Market?
Heading adult.
Yeah. Hopefully gonna action that card.
Not a lot else for him left to do.
That's true. Not really anywhere else to go, huh?
Yeah, we've pretty much exhausted the seed.
And Alex having to be careful with the double damage, not only these Stalfos, but also I've seen some runners get tripped up by the Iron Knuckles. So there is a death potential here.
Not going to do a collapse prediction. I personally am ambivalent on collapse today.
I think that's the way to feel about collapse.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so Alex just has Ganondorf, maybe collapse, and then Ganon.
Yep. And Ryu is not going to Jabu yet. Where is he going? He can't go back to GTG. Well, I guess he could go back to GTG for the strength lock checks. That's about what he could do.
Yeah,
he's hammer locked out of the rest of fire, so he's never going back there.
Yeah. No, he bought forest.
He didn't buy the fire keys. He bought the forest keys. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the fire small keys, and the moot point anyway because, well, he needed the fire small keys to get the hammer chest for irons, but forest temple is permanently inaccessible this seed, I'm fairly sure.
The DMT Fairy, I think. I don't think he was able to check this earlier.
Oh, yeah. Lead Ocarina and all that.
All right, one cycle Gandor for Alex. We're about to find out if Alex will have to run Collapse or not.
Yep, very nice one cycle there. Yeah, no collapse. Alrighty.
All right. Alex could get one hit by Ganon, but I think Alex would have to get one hit quite a few times at this point to lose the race.
He's also, I think, still got a fairy or two.
Yeah, I think he might have at least one.
You were close on this finish sub 330 comment from a while ago. He'll be just over that.
And then Ryu going back to GTG to check that strength, as you guessed.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, again, it's going to be really quick here. I mean, even with Collapse and Alex dying, not being Jabu, that would have meant that I don't think there would have been a chance anyhow, Cola.
Yeah.
Because it's... setting aside the fact that Alex is about to finish, Jabu is still going to take a bit. Like, even assuming Ryu continues on this route, he'd be getting his hammer at close to the 340 mark probably, which is... it's all for bragging rights, Pet Ank, for tournament winnings. We do it for the fun.
Yeah. I think the closest thing you get to a trophy is some of the tournaments will give you a specific title in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Discord.
And GG. 3:30:44. And Ryu has understandably decided to throw the towel in. GG's.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that one. But yeah, pretty close. Some good back and forth there for a while. Just this race would have looked a lot different if Ryu was able to find that shoe bag even like 10 minutes earlier, I think.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time having to run back around for all those explosive locked checks.
So we're going to see if we can get either or both of the runners in for an interview. They're just taking a moment after the race finished here.
Yeah,
looks like we will get Alex.
And all that.
Mm-hmm. If you have any questions for the runners, especially Alex, since we know Alex is going to be in here, feel free to put them in the chat.
Alex left a comment in race time. There's Iron Debates on.
Yeah. Definitely not the best place to put it. Top of Fire likes to hoard very important items just to make you spend that extra effort and time getting through seeds. Yeah. Drag him in. All right, welcome, and Alex. GG.
GG.
GG. Oh, God.
All right, how'd you feel about the seed?
I've got to say it was pretty nice until I was looking for Iron Boots or Gold Scale.
Okay, yeah, that got kind of rude, as we are also joined by Ryu. GG.
Yo, GG's.
GG.
I do have the local recording file if you need it.
Yeah, that'll be for the attorney orgs. Thanks.
All right.
So, Alex, you got tripped up by finding Iron Boots. Ryu, how did you feel about the seed?
I mean, I last locked everything, so it is what it is.
Yeah. The story of the early game Alex, was more or less Ryu didn't get that bomb chew back off the chess
yeah.
game until an hour in.
I expected that because I actually got lens super early and I had it set to night.
Uh-huh.
And it was just, I felt like this would be a play that someone would probably miss. Oh my god.
I mean, I
Goldskills
did
and
think about.
Hammerocks.
I did think about it.
Oh my
The
god, I
thing
could have.
is- Yeah, the thing is, I wanted since I went to Colossus using the owl in Kalia, I just wanted to check what was in the in Spirit Temple,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, I actually think I saved ahead of time just to make sure I could get both. Yeah, I think I had the perfect time of day to get chickens, Dumpy Child ends, and then treasure chest game.
Mm-hmm.
Unless DC was in Spirit. Because if DC was in Spirit, I would have done DC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
And
then
lo
it
and behold,
turned
it was DC.
Yeah, like what happened too, like at the beginning was I went to do something else, like from the owl, and then when I got to checking child spawns, like, oh, it's night, I can't really escape. I might as well do adult stuff because I have a hunch on one of the settings being like song on dungeons,
Mhm.
and it was correct.
Yeah,
and then having
When we show about
that,
that, like 30 minutes in, I was pretty sure, I was 100% sure it was Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah, same
I think
here. As soon
Oh
as
yeah,
I got
because
this,
we got a song on ZL, and then we got a hint about Song of Time being not a song.
yeah,
So I was pretty
yeah.
sure it
That I
was
think
Dungeons and
told
Dragons.
us, yeah, because you didn't have any starting songs, so it had to be dungeon songs,
yeah.
or well,
But-
most likely. And then yeah.
Oh my god! So the Gerudo Valley chest. Oh, I could have gotten that when I had grabbed Iron Boots, not Iron Boots, Hammer, because I got that before the 2-hour mark.
Wait, what was the chest?
Gerudo Valley
Gold
Hammer
Scale was in
chest.
Hammerrock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could have saved the entirety of Fire Temple if I just gone there. Like after getting that hammer and Jabu.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I think everything went downhill because of that DC. So otherwise, I would have gotten my chew bag, and it would be pretty much a highway for me.
Yeah, despite that setback, though, Ryu, you played really well. You two were actually very close. You two were actually very close to one another for the majority of the race. It wasn't until about the last hour where Alex really started to pull ahead because you were searching for that hammer forever.
I mean, I only have 2 checks left, so I'm pretty sure it's in the Jabba.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Jabu's
it's
boomerang.
the chest.
Boomerang chest.
Alright, I only had
I got
Boomerang Chest,
that
the Scrub,
early.
and... Oh, I guess I also had one chest left.
Yeah, and I've managed to basically map out all the songs except for the ones I couldn't get to, like Forest Temple. Because, like, I got every dungeon done except Well, Jabu, and Forest.
I did the
Oh
same.
yeah.
I killed everything in this freaking scene.
Yeah, you guys 100% of the seed between the two of you. As far as I can tell, Well was permanently accessible, Forest was permanently inaccessible.
And Baronade was permanently inaccessible.
Yep. But
So,
yeah,
like-
the chewback on chess game, chaining into that hard required only available lock arena in DC was the tripping point on the early game.
Mm-hmm. And then the scarce items combined with the double damage did trip both of you up in a few situations because that's just hard to deal with.
I died on Rova literally on the final hit for the first
Oh,
stage.
damn, that hurts.
Yeah.
I only had 2 unplanned deaths. One was more recoverable than the other. Because I had one death that was actually planned at the beginning.
Right.
I think I died twice as well. One was because of the rocks falling on me on DMT. And the other one, I kind of died in fire. I have no idea how I got jumped off the block.
The
that was
keys
rough.
trolled you. Yeah, then you had to manage the fire timer with a soft reset. That's once you miss that block cycle, it's hard to recover from that no matter what.
Yeah, I have no idea how I actually got pushed off.
But
Yeah,
I
those
really
keys find a
enjoyed
way.
the keyring setting. That was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, you liked it shuffled in the overworld with the boss key included?
Yeah, it was pretty convenient.
Yeah, it made some of the dungeon checks stronger. Ryu actually went back in full cleared water, which was a good play at the time. Makes it a bit more dense and feel less bad
I
of a
knew
play.
it was RO, so either, especially when it came right to the end, there was no point in me doing it because I didn't have
Iron boots.
iron boots, so I just
Yeah.
went for the song, and I knew that the
Yeah, that's
song
fair.
would be important early on because I found the water boss key. But yeah, it was pretty fun. The seed overall. Double damage did get me worried a couple times. Like I had 2 fairies for when I was going up and climbing fire, only to find the iron boots on hammer chest.
Any other
I dare
thoughts for you?
say, the settings were way too convenient. This is the kind of settings that is not to my advantage. So yeah.
These are really nice settings, honestly, for RSL. Like I was there's no ER.
Nah. Give me the shit settings every freaking scene, please.
I like brutal settings too. I'm pretty good with those.
Yeah,
I recently had one where I had any dungeon keys.
I have played 5 races during the qualifier stage where I had I had what? In 5 seeds, I think I got 430 tokens or something. Give me that shit again. Give me that shit again.
Oh my god. Speaking of tokens, it was funny that 20 was required to get those iron boots.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Or you could have gotten gold scale, yeah.
Yeah, you two share the same mentality. Star was mentioning earlier that she saw you wave the brakes. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew Alex was going to wave the brakes. He's been talking about it on Restream all the time. He's like, I don't need brakes. And then of course Ryu doesn't need brakes either. So I'm like, this is a long seed. Those two are going to be grinding hard on this. But it ended up being kind of an average Link seed for the season so far.
Yeah, I had one that was
pretty okay.
For practice. That was almost 6 hours. Let's just say having to do every single dungeon despite only having lax requirements. We'll definitely do that when it's stuff that's artificially expensive.
I actually forgot about lax. I thought I would get the boss key after getting the shadow medallion. I completely forgot about
it. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I just checked this Wirelog or something to see if there were any hints we missed that were funny. There was apparently a hint for the ocarina in DC.
Oh my god, it was for Saria's.
No, it was. There's a dual hint for 2 scrubs, and of course,
scrubs are there, of course.
Yeah, no. I mean,
the hint is it's on the
cavern.
Yeah, but no, there's literally a hint that says, deep into Dongo's cavern, a pair of scrubs sell a slingshot and an ocarina. The problem is that hint is in the DMT Storms Grotto, which you were never going to get.
Oh my god. But it was funny seeing that Lake was double Wath.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
No way.
Oh yeah. So Lake
was
the second one.
The second hint was in the back of Lake.
Whatever.
The second Wath being for Shadow Keyring to get Strength 2 in Shadow Temple.
Yeah, that was a funny one. But yeah, the seed had jokes.
It was good. Gave some variety.
Well,
we hope you get harder settings next time for the both of you.
Well, at least for me. I don't know about Alex, but at least for me.
All right. Anything else we want to ask the Racer Star before we wrap up for today?
I'm pretty much out of questions. Don't know if Chad has any.
I think that's it. All right. Well, GG to both of you.
I'm done with playing against Alex. I'm fed up with losing to him.
No, you beat me in Wind Waker.
What? Yeah, I did beat you in Wind Waker, but I mean, come on. I used to be top 24. I was the favorite over there.
Yeah,
I would have been so upset if I lost to you back then.
because I was in bracket for season 1.
Wait,
Oh,
of
it
mini blitz, you mean, no?
Hmm?
Do you mean season 1 of mini blitz or what?
No, of TP.
Oh, TP, yeah. I mean, for Dren, I was pretty sure I would get wrecked. So yeah, I think
I was close
when
to
you
winning, but against Volk. But my unfortunate demise was my biggest choke in City in the Sky,
yeah.
because I lost about 3 minutes just to that alone.
I think in our match, I got my go mode. I was like, oh hey, I hit go mode before he finished, and then he just instantly finished.
Yeah. But yeah, regardless, this was I felt like everything came into place and right up until the end for me.
I mean, I felt like I was doing pretty fine with the getting that iron boots. Like what, 2 hours and 20 minutes in?
Oh my god, where my iron boots were go mode.
Yeah.
I think the big play that I thought was going to pay off for Ryu is Ryu actually went to Goron City to do Goron Maze way earlier than you, Alex, and got the Megaton Hammer chest for Kokiri Sword with hover boots. And I thought that was going to put Ryu really far ahead, but then you found Hammer and Jabu, and I'm like, well, I don't know when Alice is going to get around to Goron City again. Then you went there like immediately, and I'm like, all right, never mind.
Well, that's because I also had the DMC hint being a major
Right.
item.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you did have that, which we knew had to be on the scrubs or the ferry at that point.
Yeah, that's what Star pointed out during the restream. She's like, well, he's probably going there to go check DMC. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
All
like
right,
I maintain 2 note sheets, one for my items, one for my hints, and then on top of that with my tracker. Make sure that nothing gets lost in the mist.
Oh my goodness, I had so many tabs open at the start of this seed because I'm the restreamer and the com, and a very detail oriented com at that. So I had my own notes sheet, I had the restream pages open, I had my notes sheet, an entrance tracker. I've actually closed down a couple of that because I don't run the full entrance tracker when it's just Dungeon ER. I just use my notes for that instead. But yeah, a lot of things happening this seed.
Yeah, that's probably why you saw me like pausing for a couple bits was because I was actually writing down entrances and what item I got where. Because
Yeah, that
then
makes
if I
sense.
get a wath for it later, then I can put it down. Because otherwise, I'm going to forget.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I think we should wrap it up there then. There is more RSL on the way though, so everyone stay excited for it.
Absolutely here. Please give both of our runners a follow, Ryu and Alex, as well as thank you to Burrito for joining me on the commentary, and new IT guy plus Lady Draker for doing the tracking today. Coming up ahead on the ZSR schedule, it's a pretty late day. We're a little bit between tournaments for most things right now, so it's relatively late period of time on ZSR, giving us all a bit of a break. We do have the one thing is going to be a Skyward Sword Randomizer Weekly Race tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, and a Majora's Mask Randomizer Weekly Race also at 7. Looks like they'll both get restreams. And then tomorrow it needs to be added to the schedule. I'll see about getting that on, but we'll have another RSL match tomorrow that does have a full crew. That is going to be between. Once I can pull this up. That'll be not tomorrow. It'll be Tuesday. Sorry, I'm mixing up my dates. It'll be Tuesday between Felucian and Alexis. That'll channel to be decided, but that'll be on one of the channels here. We'll have more matches coming up throughout the week. But for now, that is going to be it for us. We're going to raid on over to, if you want more RSL, that's it for English restreams for now. But we do have a French restream going on right now for over at Green Pepper's channel. That's Papi versus Flopine. We've got Green and Tensai on the commentary, so we'll go over see how they're doing. They're about 46 minutes in. No clue what settings they've got, but they're going to be a bit, it seems. So let's see how that's going. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good day.